do something nice. What the fuck?
Nail biter, but it has to be perfect from here on out. What's been preventing Sentinels from keeping that lead that they're getting and also just closing out the game in the end?
I think we're doing a really bad job executing the plans we had going in the first place. We need to just be more disciplined on that. When we do get them right, we don't close out the advantages right. So there's really not a lot of room for error when we play such a good team like G2. And then people get frustrated, me included. You know, I think we need to loosen up, but we need to dial in. We really need to be better. It's a letdown to not play our best game for everyone out there. Luckily, we have double bans. Makes it so that a 3-2 comeback feels very real. We've done it without the double bans before, but we're going to do it right now with a little bit of map advantage, hopefully.
Can't wait to see some awesome games. Good luck out there. Thank you.
I just want
Here.
And they know that they can do it. Been in spots like this before, going back in
What the fuck is that?
Against G2 right now, it's serious business. Josh RT really affirming, I think, that they just need to lock this one up. Don't let your foot off the gas, because Sentinels are a team that are capable of dragging this one all the way back.
Well, here's that composition that Sentinels pioneered and almost every other team has taken up as the meta comp on Pearl, including G2, who moved away from running the chamber and have now started copying Sentinels in the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 times that we've seen them run it on Pearl. I don't think they run it quite as well as Sen do, but that might not make the difference here, because trying to reverse sweep is a large mental barrier, I think, and no team has ever lifted that trophy twice. We've had a different winner every time in Americas, and G2 might be ready to do it back to back.
Sentinels
Love Cypher my ass, bro. No one cares about Cypher.
By G2 themselves. It's a feud that runs back deep between these two teams.
And if you think about that one, the finals of kickoff.
It's time to play, bro.
We expected G2 to run away with it.
Why is it like I'm loading up?
It was going to be a 2-0, maybe a 3-0 like this series could end up being. But actually, Sen dug deep and they pushed it all the way to 5, unexpectedly, and really made people take notice.
Let's go, guys. Guys, okay, for real now? All right, for real now, I know we're having fun, having fun.
Those hidden reserves.
I know we were laughing and giggling before, but now this is serious. Let's play.
You're in the presence here, Jorgamo. He's sticking around for quite some time. Very final moment before he eventually evacuates. Clearance in through mid and a timing, potentially.
Son of a...
Brutal.
Slips out in a Raid's grasp.
They might think, though, that that was the backstab, and it's actually going to be a full B split. And that's not the case. Sentinels are running a B fake, and slowly
Man, I think it's over. G2 win. Fuck. We're so fucking doomed, bro. It's fucking done for. We definitely lost the series. There's no way we reverse sweep. It's fucking over, man. Fuck.
only just now does he drone.
Broken potentially only by Zekken, which could make all the difference in the world.
Yeah, he's not calling. Well, Jogamo starts rotating over, but
Yeah,
they're not going to realize. They're not going to realize that this is a full A-pop.
Celsius wrapping around here, critical with the kill, and Jonah P just decimates him, ends him. Art control, give it up. Zekken looking to see if he can reclaim a bit of that territory. It's going to make all the difference to Sentinels here. Pistol round to get the plant down, and damage has been done prior, so easy cleanup, but I didn't expect this one. Wrapping around again, second go of things. Leaf, salvos potentially to push them back at Zekken. Handed, potential chances, bang. Potentially stealing away, but Leaf has slipped it all the way through into Art.
John's the playmaker, though. He's got
around.
all the way behind. 8 seconds on the salvos.
That's going to make a huge difference. He's missed it into the timing. Bang, though. Might be able to deny, at least with that damage done. Surely Valen onto the defuse. Timing's been missed. Salvos lay it down, Valen. Hop feet. He's got a lot to ask now in this spot. Smoke. Propped up and bang! Takes him out.
Through the smoke there, I think, towards the end.
We got Tejo too, bitch.
Rights the wrongs of so
we got
many of his
Tejo as
teammates.
well.
Sen had 3 separate opportunities to catch one of the G2 players. First of all, Narrate coming through mid, I think should have been able to catch one and instead got clocked in the head.
One enemy.
And we saw another tussle over towards Art that didn't go their way. I think that was Zelsis, but bang throughout it all.
Come on, Cap. Come on, Cuber.
Locking it down, a 4K.
You did a really good job that round of shooting them. You should do that more.
Wait, what the fuck?
That is incredible
Wait, what?
advice. That's why they have Zekken on the team.
Wait, what?
That's why I'm hard stuck.
Wait, what?
Okay, Zekken, he's in.
Wait, what?
It's a fight to be taken here, but stunned up. Oh my, Jonah P's working with barely anything, just that free weaponry at hand. Slowed down, a bit of a stalemate chord 4.
If we get egoed here, I'm gonna break everything in this room.
But Sen deal with the chaos
Every
quite
single
nicely. Yeah,
piece
they've
of
taken a bunch of
furniture,
damage, and
equipment,
John Cutie and
everything will be broken if we
It might
get
come back
egoed.
to bite them later on. Especially because Leaf has that Marshall.
I'll be
Playing
live
from
streaming
Flowers.
a Smash sesh.
But they avoided getting overwhelmed by the
Hammer
eco at the
through
start of the round
everything
here.
if we get fucking ecoed.
It would be devastating for them to lose this.
Don't fucking
There's a
say
lot of
that.
damage done to these
Just an
Sentinels
egg.
players. I still think they're not out of the woods just yet. Celsius, you have to claim this kill. He does eventually get onto it.
It's not the range that the Stinger wants to be played from.
Not at all.
Oh, mother.
Gets the info though, and he's going to be pressured regardless. Picked up onto a different angle.
You eco
Learns,
chasing
but he
fuck,
does snap
Celsius.
to it. Head's
You
gonna be
eco
fouled,
chasing
Jorgamo.
fuck.
Does answer back.
In the meantime, Bang has taken all of this room towards B. He's realized there's nobody anchoring the site at all. Leaf has got to be
30
playing on the
seconds
opposite
left.
side of the map. Jorg might be able to find another timing.
Series of unknowns though. Bang has, as you already said, call for the rotations at that time, and already expecting that Jorgamo is going to be waiting, walking straight back in. Leaves it up to Leaf. Marshall in hand. 2 players will go down to a single shot.
Spike planted.
Said I've got to play this with a bit of discipline. Leave no room for mistakes. Bang is the most healthy player, holding it first most. Off onto the corner, to the angle. Anticipates, okay. Does land it.
And Bang, back-to-back rounds
Nice
where he's
and
been
calm, nice and
massively
calm,
important
guys.
for Sentinels.
Nice and calm. Keep it
Kind
calm,
of
guys. Keep it
recovering
calm.
these rounds
Calm.
actually for them. A little bit rocky, but Sen get up to 2. And Bang's done such a great job. He has a Cosmic Divide available already. And this is the map. Out of any in the pool where the Cosmic Divide feels the best, I think, you can definitely run some strategies.
Sean, once again, great job of shooting them.
He's really emphasizing the shooting them
noted.
point.
But also a really good job of finding a timing through on B and finding an entire
You guys might be
empty
able to
part
take
of
his
the map.
advice.
So this time I don't think Zekken's analysis is spot on. I don't know.
But still, Sentinels now should be set up for
Ah!
pretty decent bonus round. Jonah P. God. Bumbling into the walls a little bit there, but still gets away.
Aren't you immortal? I'm immortal by choice. Your
So
heart's
not
stuck
shy
gold.
whatsoever here.
Me and you, not the same,
We'll have to try
bucko.
and step up Zekken. Side steps. The Caesar's going to be dodged. A refight call for here. G2 trying to make sure that they can
Nice,
remove this
Celsius.
space. But a rifle in hand. Bonus. Has a lot of danger towards it. Celsius.
Who is that
How the
guy?
hell is this guy still breathing?
29 HP with the regen shields. This round was supposed to be going over towards B. You could see because of where John was taking the spike. And instead, the Art players find so much success. But with Narrate falling,
Yeah, surely leaves
Celsius,
caught here.
again.
Indeed, yeah,
Oh my
again.
god.
Wrapped from the
Thank
side.
God he looked left.
3v1 now for Jorgamo.
Jogamo 1v3.
in the right place at the right time with the weapon at hand. There's a chance with Zelsis low
Don't
enough
do
as
this,
he
bro.
is.
Spike planted.
To the post
Nice,
plan, though,
good
plenty of
jiggle.
ults of Centurions to expend. Angle watch for.
Nice round, Jordan. Come on, bro.
Absolutely massive.
Right there, you shot them. That was good.
And they win the bonus off the back of that. Huge round now. I wonder what Zekan's analysis of the situation is going to be. Because again, Zelsis just kind of did a great job of shooting them.
We're about to find out, I think.
The reclear call.
So,
Zen completely
Second, say it
punishes
again,
I think
please.
that's a spot where G2, you know, by swinging, by taking the tempo, often are going to be favored. But
I leave for 10 minutes and
Zelsis
Sentinel
hits some
starts winning.
beauties.
I'm begging you, do
Immediate
not come
bang
back.
up at the top of the scoreboard with 6
Like,
apiece.
respectfully, of course.
And the possibility of a brawl here again. G2 doing the same kind of stuff on the eco round, looking to try to up the tempo in A main. A flash through the smoke with the horn.
Lay it down with the horns on top of it. This eco definitely has
Nice.
legs, but
Come
okay,
on, baby.
it's navigated. Tumultuous at times, but Sentinel's already.
Another spot where Sen hold on.
Good hold.
Feels like G2 are constantly pushing, pressuring them, trying to force the fights on the defense, and Sen's job is just to stop them from accomplishing their goals.
Not to be faked out. Jonah P. tucked to the side here. Chance and a weapon handed over, but
We're going B, though. We're going B.
already getting a bit of a move on.
That actually could be really important, though, because when this Vice Wall gets triggered over towards B, there's going to be an opportunity to pick up some guns in A main. Now, is Leaf going to go for that? Probably not, because he'd have to take such a circuitous
No,
route.
bang! It's okay.
He can be pretty deadly with the Stinger. And Jonah now has that Phantom.
Trips the wall.
So once more, Sentinels just have to stabilize and shut down a threat.
And Leaf only has the Stinger, though. It's a
Double
long-range
flank.
fight, tripled up by Sen. As you said, they only have
What?
to stabilize. Are they going to expect Jonah P right behind him? That's a question here. Move to the sides.
Good job, bro.
Spraying him down. Good. Salvage again. Zelsis fully on top of most of this round.
They're doing a great job. 4-0 lead. And here's that flash haunt kind of play that didn't end up actually going much of the distance. John did a great job there.
He's also stepping up, yes.
Adapting under the
Yes,
chaos.
he is.
And now
Good
they've
boy,
built up
Zelsis,
so
good
many
boy.
ultimates that even if Jorgamo picks up an operator, even if Jorg goes for the op on the defense, they have Yoru ult, Cosmic Divide for a B exec that would just ruin it. Instead, though, John is calling for maybe a bit of a control play over
I'm
towards
super
A.
behind.
Round to
Behind
use
what?
these ults for Sen. Because
Behind
you break
what,
the
bro?
economy of G2.
Oh, yeah. See this one splitting into over towards A. Cosmic Divide. As you already
Okay.
mentioned, Josh, now's the time to let those ults shine here for Sentinels. Full clearance though, G2. Giving up control, but backside is laid bare. Second. Happy to play around this spot here. Needs a bit of an evacuation policy though with the TP, and he could just be getting pressured at a moment's notice. Steel Garden, it's even better. It's all being slowed down. Sentinels, full access. Still haven't been able to get the plant on. Okay, and that might be a
Off
bit of a
on
problem.
flank.
I mean, this might be a bit of a problem. Jorgamo coming from the flank.
Yeah.
The Vice Wall was put in place to stop a flank from
Oh,
mid.
tail ult. That's good tail ult.
Use Armageddon! Can you run? Can you escape? Right into the maw. It's open access here with the rifles in
What a
hand.
good
It's still
tail.
different to nothing but Sen.
Flank.
Happy to just all the way
They know it's open. They're hiding from it.
stand up tall and proud
They know,
here.
they know,
Yeah.
they know.
Jorgamo's flank, not a problem anymore.
Dogamo's
He's
like,
got to just
Dogamo's
save
like,
the
well,
operator.
shit,
He
man,
didn't
y'all
give away
died.
where he was coming from.
Dogamo's
Sen
like,
might have some
shit,
kind of
what
an
happened?
idea because they haven't seen him the entire time. But what an ult that was from John Cutie. I thought
Nice.
somehow G2 were going to be able to avoid it and frag out. But Sen just had so much control there. The ultimates were everything. And this is how you snowball. G2's economy is going to get knocked down apart from that op. They were forced into this fight. They did a decent job at the beginning, but then got pushed into narrate, and the crossfires on site were just too strong.
And that's been missing from Sentinels, I think, these last two maps. Just trying to think one level ahead for what G2 are planning, but that extra Armageddon, like you said, place it down when a Nightfall comes out.
It was really good.
I'm not behind.
really
YouTube
good.
was ahead.
And
I mean,
the
I can go to
Yoru
YouTube,
the
but
Astral are such excellent
I always
combos
watch
at
on
being able to
Twitch.
get into sites and not have to worry about stuff like operators, people playing in anchor positions. Now, though, the ult bank
Go to
is
YouTube?
expended from Sen. It was absolutely worth it to be
YouTube
able
quality's
to knock G2's
better?
economy. But now
Actually?
that when we go into the next rifle
I thought you guys
round,
were capping,
round
but-
7, Josh RT's taking a timeout to get things stabilized. And the ults are going to flip in the other direction. Now G2 are the ones. Now G2 are the ones in a better position. But Sen at that point are likely to be 6-0 up. And this is the exact kind of start you need if you want to pull off a reverse sweep and steal the trophy away. Couldn't ask for better.
Now, strong beginning here for Sentinels. The only best of 5 reverse sweep in Team America's history will be a time beating Cloud9 2023 LCQ. I mean, that's just chiseled into the ancient annals of time, almost at this point, weirdly enough.
Yeah. And was it relevant? No, because of the crew run.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I mean, Levy's and Cloud9 at the time were the two favorites to win, I think. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
All right, we're live.
Yeah, the point being reverse sweeps extremely difficult.
Very, very rare. Sen with a good start, though, towards one. Jogam. Oh, okay. Done some damage and gets out.
If we lose this round, I'm going back
alive,
to
though.
Twitch. I'm just pointing that out.
Dropped down to barely anything in
We
terms
changed
of
up the
health
vibes,
here,
dude.
but an opening pick might be exactly what G2 needed.
And G2 are so good on these light buy rounds. When they played against Evil Geniuses, they were winning so many rounds like this with lower weaponry on Pearl. But most of the time they had Stingers to work with, and 3 players here with just Sheriffs.
Someone said we lost 2 games on Twitch
Drone's not
XD.
going to be dealt with there, so
You're not wrong, XD.
Jogamo's position is noted. He has to TP back
Maybe you have a
away,
point.
so open to the A site. Delaying it, being a possibility alongside that Armageddon. You're rolling out the red carpet at this point, and it's up to Sentinels if they can hold this one down. They're calling a reaction. They want to clear these mid players out and away, but they missed the
Nice
door. The
trade.
corner, Valin. It's only to 1. Traded out by Bang.
30 seconds left.
To the corner again. He needs to try and find that big Jonah P.
Oh, he's
If
moving.
Bang dies, it's a nightmare.
He's not shy.
He got away.
Just missed the timing onto it. Sentinels are going to be aware of this.
Good help from Narrate. That's exactly what Bang
Escort
needed.
the bomb?
An escort to be able to get into sight safely with Spike.
Obscuring vision.
Jinx, you owe me a kiss, Mr. Egg?
Time barely there. Any more delay from G2? Just not quite.
10 seconds left.
No, they've run out of artillery at this point. They did have salvos to try to work with,
Concealment.
but I think
Good
Trent
smoke.
wants to save them.
Smoke propped. Horn dealt with. Broken here. G2 scurrying around.
They have no
Back to
flash.
sight. Bang.
Nice bang.
That rifle play.
What a
bit of
shot.
Spam. What a flick. Jogamo, operator in hand. He's adding
Rockets?
level of danger towards this one. Fake TP forwards. They want to know and spot where these players potentially could be. And he's seen
What
when
a
the Raiders
seize.
at least a seize. Up and over.
What
Horn
the
reveals
fuck?
all.
Lovely little combo. The C's first. Taking away all of the sound and then throw that haunt up there, making sure that it can't really be broken.
Good job.
And they take the off
Good
out of
fucking
Jordan's
job.
hands.
Guys, I know we're
This
up
off,
6-0,
already
but it
did
doesn't
work
mean
from
anything.
Nico, and I don't think Sen would have wanted to navigate around it
The
without
magic
either
number
Robot
is
or an
13.
Astro
Let's stay
Ult.
focused.
Having said that, though,
Wow.
Bang is having such a game. He's 1 away from Astro Ult again. So all of what I was talking about the ult situation,
all
now
good,
favoring
retweet.
G2.
It's all good,
even though
brother.
they're down 0-6.
Good listening skills, my brothers. Good listening skills.
The fuck? Is Zekin teaching like a
Is he trying
class?
to trial to replace Kaplan?
Oh, God.
He's trying to become the superstar player and the coach.
It's killing me.
He's going to be giving him back rubs and bananas next.
Guns in the hands of G2, though.
He's gentle parenting them.
Last. Spy the operator.
Fighting
True.
A main potentially here as well.
Yeah, really clashing.
Nice
Attempt
houses.
towards it, though, but Jonah P is already cleaned up. Out towards
Nice
us
trade,
still.
Bang.
It's an important
Nice
fight to take.
bang.
That is monstrous from
Come
Bang.
on, Sean.
He's having a map here.
Beautiful.
He's controlled all of that aggression. They even got the pick over towards Art, and Sen looking like they're going to sail away with a 7th.
There's no stopping them at this point.
There's 2 here still.
Wonderful beginning. Leaf, though, Zelsis is
Nice
off,
second.
but okay, Zekin's there, isn't he?
Spike planted.
Can't let that go unchecked. Valin. Okay, it's nice with the angle. He was pushed up. So
Good
slightly
push.
in that 1v2.
Good push.
Bang! Again. Perfect with the timing and the shots as
Nice.
well. That fight into A main. We already mentioned it, but that
Nice.
was the important piece. Sidestepping, dodging bullets.
Can you not yell? I'm trying
This
to
one's
sleep.
going to be for the history books.
Where
if they
are
pull
you
off a
living that
reverse
you're
sweep
trying to
with
sleep?
13-0
EU?
on Pearl.
Brother, if you're in EU,
I mean, at the moment,
then yeah, I would go.
it
Yeah.
looks
It's
incredible
time for
from
bed, bro.
Sen. This should have been the round where the momentum starts to turn in the favor of G2. They got more ults.
I'm stunning on him. I'm like,
Yeah, and he certainly was.
He is. The movement's good. The aim's better. He's 12-4. Meanwhile, Zelsis was still getting some really big rounds earlier on, 10 and 4. G2 fighting mid on the eco. Super classic plan, and they've caught bang in the corner. Oh, sorry, Zelsis in the corner.
Still, and dealing with the rate off to the side. It's an aggro play by G2.
It's always a thrifty, huh?
Potentially something to turn the tide of the way that this map has been going.
John might be stuck, or he might find the timing on the timing here.
There's a flank.
Balance right there behind. Thorns are deaded. Supplementary. A bit more bits and pieces are led here. Balin. Oh my, it was a silent hop up. So he wasn't quite ready when he got up, but eventually gets it. Just John QT, 1v4.
Timing.
Unfortunate with the timing there. He was watching that for the longest moment, but just turned his back towards it.
Any potential for cinemas?
QT has got a lot more to do, though, in this spot. The spike has been definitely dropped and isolated, but so are these fights.
Any
John
potential for cinemas?
picking them apart here. 1v4.
He's actually still got drone to work with as well. It's tough to want to drone in any of these spots, because you don't know that your back is even going to be safe. But if he gets a bit of info, if he spots a peek, and Valin keeps walking forwards here.
Yeah.
No.
Making sure that they double up here, but the timing is missed. Re-exploration by Valin. John had chances for sure, but in the end, G2 play with a little bit more discipline. They tighten up. They finally get a round on the board here for Pearl. It's a map that not just eluded them, it's been haunting them, I think, as well, throughout our entire
He's trying to gain more ground because time is getting low.
Definitely the most dramatic
it was just unfortunate
G2,
timing again.
You think about big moments for G2
Yep.
in 2025, a lot of them have happened on Pearl. But a lot of them have been close, either heartbreak, crazy overtimes. Thinking about T1, thinking about 100 Thieves. This is just kind of them getting stomped. They've only won on that eco round just now where they fought heavy through mid. Another scrap over towards A main.
A lot of bodies.
And Jorgamo getting posted with an operator. He didn't play with the op on this side of the map previously.
G2 trying to reclaim some of that space. Damn. What a shot.
That's frustrating.
Snaps it. Bullet to the chest. Zekken is gone. Scurrying now from Sentinels to try and reclaim some of that space, but already the call is made to try and refight towards Art.
Just stay on the player, bro. Oh my god, I hate these overviews.
Down. This one, a bit more pace potentially injected.
They always do that, man.
They're being slowed down by all that util.
It's not the observer, it's just whoever's controlling that overview camera just needs to
Bang's
stop
gonna be
that.
slowed down himself.
He had no smokes on cooldown, so he had to recall. That means Art is so open.
Instant. It's there, Jonah P with a trade.
We want to see the kills,
this time,
bro.
The discipline is reigning supreme here from G2. Make sure to leave no gaps for Sentinels to play around.
And Jonah P, he's been punished a couple of times trying to defend Art. This time gets a lot of help and gets a 4K. Jorgamo's op-in has been really good today. It was a big turning point for them on Split as well.
Wow, what a round.
Despite his individually good opping performances, G2 have not really been able to string it into rounds until just then. If they close out the rest of the rounds in this half, though, it's gonna feel like the damage of the 7-0 is almost completely repaired.
Chad, this might be a silly question, but are the coach and the assistant coach talking to each other while they watch together?
Doesn't care about the
Probably,
team damage
right?
from their own. Salvo's a haunt. A little bit delayed in the making, but Jorg's here. Flown into the face. Will bang. Evaded, not quite. He's white. Swinging! Oh my god!
It didn't even mean to kill Trent!
That's collateral damage. Difference maker for it. Leaf now wants to try and get ahead of this timing, but this is all fake pressure. Just a clone that was laid down prior.
I think so too.
These players at G2 are going to be trying to re-clear some of this space, but they're going to get their answers
well,
a little bit too late. I think Sentinels are already making their way over towards A.
Our coach will stand behind us, so he's not talking to no one.
So it's worth still
fighting. So it's different.
Even though they're in the 3v5, you're hoping just to force ultimates out if you can. I mean, winning the round would be amazing, but at least make it dangerous, make it costly.
The ultimate util spells it all out here towards Leaf. Oh, the bullets!
How is that possible?
He rattles them into the chest of Zekken, and still he wins the fight.
Oh, Zekken's mad.
Kill for Zekken to get.
Backside controls now. There's the 2v5. Highly unlikely here for G2. Still make a good go of things here.
Nice,
but there it is. Take the fight
good
together.
job, bro.
Sentinels up to 8.
One round at a time, guys. One round at a time.
It was Zekken that was holding down a ramp, and G2 ran their heads into it over and over. It feels like that same stubbornness.
Oh, he got a double like that.
Into bang over towards A main.
Oh my god.
It's clearly a big part of G2's strategy to try to push out A main, and not just get Jorgamo posted. and not just have
I
Drench
just see
thrown
you
it.
and Zach in front of me, and I feel young again. You know what I mean?
But they're trying to really push through and apply a lot of pressure onto the player that's holding that extremity. But Bang is just, he's got their number.
It can't be denied. He's rooted to the spot and still winning these fights.
16 kills in 10 rounds, and G2
Unbelievable.
fight mid again.
This is it. It worked for them last time, but they got to try and make another go of it. This time, though, bit of trouble because Zekken, dimensional drift forward, spotted out the players. Gives his team the information to work with.
You are divided.
Even clear out most of the way.
Really good ult combo again. The Yoru ult into the
Yeah, they
Astra
don't hear him
ult, and
TP
you just
there.
get the whole side for free.
Bring them down.
Zelsis still has his to
Oh,
work with
banged.
if things get difficult, but Bang fell.
Yeah, finally, yep. Top
Spike planted.
section of mid here. Jorgamo with his own ult as well. He's trying to
Wow.
flip this one all the way around. Zelsis is
Vital.
isolated in towards
He
the
got the
back.
ult off.
Jorgamo has cleaned him up, but the Steel Garden was still layered
He
down.
got the Vital
Overlapped
off. Wow.
sound cues. Cut away here from Sen, but finally fading, returning to their senses, and Narrate.
Leaf needed more
got
patience.
walkabouts
I'm surprised he peaked so
rewarded.
early.
Horns up and over towards the top.
We have
Difficulties now
tail
for
ults.
G2. They still want to try and make a go of this one, but the reveal
Dang.
is big trend.
Rockets
Snap
are
to
coming
the
up
side,
in
a
1
quick 180,
second.
dodging, juking, Armageddon though. Lays it down by some time,
Rockets are
sidestepped.
up.
He's low enough himself.
Wait, he has to. He
Salvos
didn't stack the
trying to
rockets.
be. He's denied for it, but he's earned himself at least half his team for it. Potentially
Nice
a chance
jiggle,
for trend
brother.
time of the essence ticking down.
Good shot.
And John QT
We got rockets
dragged
too,
to his
pussy
grave most
boys.
likely at the end, though, just out of sight of it. And 9-2 now for Sen. One more round left in this half.
It's so difficult to beat Trent in these clutch situations, but John does it. Tucks into the corner,
Zelsis has so
masterfully
much
plays
value,
with the
man.
sight lines to bait Trent off the defuse multiple times. Look at him jiggling, only unveiling a shoulder.
I put my body on the line to kill that guy. I just want you to know.
We're gonna play too hard.
They're feeling good out there, though. All of the stress and the pressure of being
I don't know
down
what's happening, but I
0-2
like
in this
it.
series seems to have evaporated off their shoulders. They're playing loose,
This body.
and they're doing a good job at controlling G2, who
Uh-oh.
are once again trying to force the fight.
Yeah, forwards up here. Trying to take this one with the bodies, and they do have
Wow.
the guns at the hand
Wait,
here.
one
Obtaining
for
a couple of
two?
upgrades, but that's a big presence to showcase. No fast reaction from Sentinels.
Well, fairly quick reaction, though, from Narrate, who manages to get himself all the way deep. He's past this drone reclear.
Oh, didn't make it.
Doesn't click on. There's an awareness here from G2 that they have lost control of this.
Both
You can
guys
see
are
in the way
taking
that
their own
Jordan is
timings.
holding towards sewers.
And now John is just
Sen
waiting to see
players
what they
are
find.
super confident. You know, Zelsis is walking all the way up, triggering the wall, not worried about being punished. It feels like
Now they go
Sen
A together?
have the liberty to walk around and take individual fights because they've been winning so many of them. The ults, though, are in G2's favor. The players as well, the numbers. But for some reason, I feel like this is going to be a 10-2 half.
Yeah, I mean, Sentinels have been winning so many of
Nice.
them, and it keeps rolling.
It's just moments like that.
Wait, I
Leaf
like
should
that
have had it
molly he threw.
dead to right.
There's no stopping them.
Planted.
Look at these mollies as Zelsis
Hands
threw.
down. Two big ults to use if you are G2, but Valorant has been damaged in the process towards this round. Still alive, though, for now. Sentinels are forced to play deep tucked onto the side because of that Cosmic Divide. It's just been layered down now, but Trent does have the right tool for the job again. Pushing them forwards, out into the open. Salvos spraying and praying. Zelsis has gone away with murder.
Nah,
He did it earlier in the half as well.
dude.
And he's rocketing
What
up
in
to the top
God's
of the
name is
scoreboard to
going
join
on?
Bang. The two of them have been untouchable here on Pearl. You might have thought earlier today that it was going to be the second show.
Dude.
It was on the maps that they ended up losing, weirdly
so
enough.
sloppy,
Here,
but
a
it
10-2
works.
half powered by Zelsis and Bang, shutting down aggression from G2. Sen right now look like the kings of Pearl. G2, a mere copy.
Absolutely no denying the player form right now from Sentinels. They've earned
Dude, oh
themselves
my
10-2
God.
here. The reverse sweep has got to start somewhere. What a great way to begin.
I don't really like committing to things. I'm scared. But when Verizon announced that I could lock in a low price for 3 years, I mean, yeah.
Oh, good job. 10
are on sale. Make sure you scan that QR code that's on your screen to secure your spot at the second biggest global event of the year. And we're making sure that we're buffering out the playing ground ever so slightly. No bumps. Making sure it's all nice and even.
Yeah, Dan the Penguin doing his job with the Zamboni.
Great job.
Dude, that Penguin, he just loves the attention.
He does.
It sickens me.
It does.
It sickens me.
Interesting response.
This moment's about the players, Dan. Get off the stage. Yeah, it's going to be a joy to watch these teams playing a Masters Toronto. And this is another opportunity for them to entertain and grab a trophy before they get there. But also, in context of that tournament at Masters Toronto, whoever wins this gets to skip the Swiss stage. And you were mentioning earlier, Brent, we're expecting a pretty big meta shift heading into Masters Toronto. Whoever skips the Swiss stage gets to watch what all the other teams come up with and adjust without having the pressure.
Let's make it easy on ourselves.
Maybe being eliminated from the tournament early.
And that's that extra element.
Are they rushing B?
Huge advantage. You'd love to have it, especially a team like G2, heavily reliant on the Teo
Not
plays. We know he's going to be nerfed. Meta
They're looking for the
shifting
Vice Wall.
drastically heading into that event.
But it's actually on Street.
And I'm sure it's going to affect
Maybe
all
not.
the teams. But here and now, this is the composition that teams have settled on for Pearl. And Sen, they are the masters of it. A 10-2 dismantling in the first half. And G2 playing a very slow beginning here. Looking to see where Sentinels are playing. Zekan set up to try to punish any kind of bait play on the Vice Wall in B-Link.
Yep.
Now, just judging by Jorgamo's positioning, I'd imagine that G2 are heading in his direction. But Sen go for a reclear, looking to try and grab some information and just miss it.
Okay, here we go.
Salvo's onto the corner. Trying to punish potentially with it, but yeah, walls up and over.
Jump over.
Again, you can navigate it. It's going to slow you down. Just a tad here.
By Street.
A flash for Zekan. Could go crazy.
Refighting right into the Salvos though. There is all sorts going on here.
Spike down Street, 25 seconds.
Outside lane. Spike's going to be dropped down, but
They're going
recovered.
back to A?
25 seconds left. Your options to pivot are limited if you are G2.
What?
But there's nobody
Are
actually
they?
defending A.
Or
They are going
full
A.
evacuation, isn't it? Sentinels are just been reinforcing, but now they're going to hear it. And yeah, okay.
It's a
Noise
free
being made.
site.
But they're going to be late to it. This plant is going to go down without a hitch. G2 with an opportunity of winning a 4v5 post plant.
Oh no, Trent's alive.
A heist before our eyes, to be honest.
Don't know how they got away with that. Valen, he's looking to try to make the play. And John thinking about it, watching for it. The two IGLs trying to find the timing.
It's all about the mind games here, and what a flash as well. Leap forwards with the fight. Crossfire setup's going to be set up with him and Trent as well. Just a slight peek, backing away. Trying to hope that these players open themselves up into the more, into the classics in hand. Reloads but saved. Trent onto the side, and Leap has not been denied. Nothing can take this guy down now. 1v2, John. 3 bullets left to do it all. Raps his way. How the hell does that happen? Leaf! It's ridiculous!
He's gotten away with murder in that pistol round. I mean, G2 in general have 25 seconds to pivot all the way from B to A. Sen just didn't think they would go for it.
No.
Instead, 4v5, they get the plant down, and Leaf picks up 4 kills. Valen even finding that timing through water. So, okay, G2 with a pistol. But they're going to need so much more to make this any level of a contest on Pearl. The gap is still 7 rounds with Sen in the lead.
It's the first step in potentially hundreds that need to be taken for G2 to have a chance here.
And we've seen big individual moments from the Sen players. It only takes a couple.
They're stacked up. Doesn't matter that they're on an eco here. They can do some real damage, especially with that util. Sentinels! Filled up the feed in their name.
3v2.
Dropping guns towards
There's
their
a lurk.
back.
He has a ghost.
Leaf with only a ghost to work
Good
with.
drone.
And a drone in his face.
Spotted out, overwhelmed, swarmed into the spot, and this is it. G2 just really rushing into things there, not navigating the spot that they were in, and Sentinels are going to be calling for this, and it's going to be a 3-2-1 swing together, and that makes 11.
Well, if there was any hope of a G2 comeback from a 10-2 half, I think that
An
should have put
eco
the knife
going
in the back.
our way, man. Finally.
Sen with a great anticipation of where this one was ending. And they just all swing out together.
What a good start.
Yeah, G2 super stuck inside of them, right? They couldn't find a safe area to stand. And Josh RT He was talking to us in the coach interview
Pause?
about the fact that G2
Brother.
need to close things as early as possible. You have to think about it as a BO1 because it is possible for Sen to come back in this
Oh, he's
series.
digging deep in the
They're
notes.
It's a really good
He
match
is
for
digging
them.
deep in the
Pearl,
notes.
Excellent. Ascent, that's the next map. And that's where they crushed the Waylay coming out from G2. So it's entirely possible that Sentinels, when you look at the map pool, could pull off a comeback. Josh is going to be talking to them here about how they can pick themselves up and maybe try to make something happen on Pearl. But it looks a far cry away from being a reality.
It's miles away. Of course, Josh is going to be telling them 1 round at a time is all it takes, but for Sentinels, it's exactly what they needed. Weirdly enough as well, with the way that the map veto landed and laid out, you end up with the 2 maps the Sentinels won against G2 near the tail end. A Sen and Icebox sitting near the back.
And of course, sometimes you learn more by being the loser in those situations. So it's entirely possible that G2 will have tweaked some of the Waylay stuff on Ascent and have different ideas for their icebox. But I think with Sen dominating on this map,
Fuck G2, bro. Come
we're set
on,
up
man. Wake up and
still
smell the
for an
flowers,
extremely
dude.
competitive
Get off your
series for
phone.
this trophy.
Chill. My bad.
What's up here from G2? There's really no other
I'm locked,
options.
I'm locked.
Sentinels tripled up in through a main drone as well. Sets the tone towards the round. Using arm control in the process. A bit of spam.
I'm locked. I'm locked. I lock any harder.
No presence here from G2. They're making it known. Not shy, are they? Knocking straight at the door, to be honest.
Keep it steady, Narrate.
they're
Keep it
trying
steady,
to catch
bro.
a player that might be playing over towards mid. You know, somebody that's playing in that connector. But instead, it's a vice wall here. And they've managed to find the other side of it. So full mid control for G2. A little bit strange as well that when Sentinels took A main, they didn't feed the orb to John QT. Because he would have had the tail ult online.
Nacol, please,
Fast
yes.
timing. I don't know if Zelsa's going to expect this one. Might be fast, but okay, here's the footsteps. Valin!
Valin's stinger is
Like an
gross.
F1.
Pure disrespect.
Like an F1.
Gun picked back up here, ferried back. They can't let that one get into enemies' hands, but G2 onto the side here with a bit of a plan of their own as long as there's no funny business.
Ferrari peak.
Let's go down, straight bullets slowing down Valin, but he's still alive. And now post-plant begins once again, and we're going to see it. Salvo's up in 15.
Yeah, you have pull, you have salvos, you have people at close range with stingers.
This is tough.
It's a hard retake for Sen to win.
Josh's going to be that thorn in their side as well.
John died by accident.
What
Save.
is that?
John didn't even get a look in.
Just
God
shuts the
damn,
door in
bro.
the face of Sentinels. No
It
chance
never
to
is
even
over,
get going.
dude. It never is
Well, at least he
over.
got his tail ult online. Silver linings. But G2, if you give them a sight, their post-plant play is almost impossible to deconstruct. And I think that's why they match up so well against Sentinels. Because Sen,
Shave beard if
historically,
G2 come
since
back.
they've become excellent at the beginning of 2024, it's been about that kind of retake.
But why?
prowess.
What do we get out of that?
And this is the post-plant meta.
I'm just gonna get made fun of for like 2
Pulls,
weeks. Then what?
salvos, stingers inside smokes.
God.
But Sen still have a 7-round lead. And a 7-round lead is going to be really, really difficult to fight against.
Just 2 rounds, all Sentinels need. It can happen anywhere. G2 are well aware of that, with the amount of Thrifties have been winning on Pearl recently.
We get a laugh, you get depression. Deal?
Jorgamo full sprint forwards, trying to catch a time and pass the salvos. Grab that A main control.
Good early kill onto the drone as well, so he's not worried about being suppressed. Still has a gate crash to be able to get out. But he's taken 100 damage. He's down to only 50.
Yeah.
Both Yorus just kind of staring.
Oh my god, Ascent's the next
each other.
map.
A wall in
If
the
we
way.
make it there, of course.
Have they tracked the money well enough to know that Zekken has opted into the operator? Potentially, but could be missed here. Don't think Zekken's revealed his hand. He's trying to get posted up onto the A line. A lot of util expended. TP back. Joel gives up the space.
I thought the beard was a filter on God.
And because that
All
gate
right.
crash was so close, Zekken now feels pretty confident just walking all the way up. He heard the audio cue.
ADS, timing. Oh,
Timing
it's
is
missed.
insane.
Both ends here, but there's 2 players putting the pressure now. Applying it onto Zekken. Can he deliver? Shots
Oh my
missed!
god.
Oh, right. Evacuation there with a gate crash again, but it's watch 4 as well. These lurks. Realization by Sentinels that they have lost that mid control.
A little bit timid there from John QT. Might have been able to catch a kill.
They're planning.
Quick tap.
No, they're not.
Looking to try and force some of this util and buy a bit of time and space for the rest of the team forwards. Somehow Leaf gets that one. Zekken can be dropped here. Plant now down. Into the post plan we go. John was not baited into the using this ult. It means they can use it now for the retake. Jorgamo is forced to step forwards, and he's only
Trent,
on single
spam
digits
kill.
almost of HP. Trent with that fire over the
This
shoulder.
flank is good.
Just takes out Bang, and he's caught a timing of his own, wrapping all the way around. This is going to be so unexpected for these Sentinels players.
And you've still got pull.
Wait.
Here come the salvos.
They know?
I say it's going to be unexpected. John was aware of the fact. Zeltz is
it.
forwards. He's going to be done. And here's those salvos, like you were saying. Delay, the stall.
Wait.
Dragging this one into the bitter end.
No.
John, okay, Jonah P. Finds it. Time ticking,
Nice
though.
try.
So is the spike. Chance is
Nice
not
try,
impossible.
nice try,
That's the
nice
trouble.
try.
We were talking about it. You let G2 get into these post-plant spots.
Ah.
And it's so difficult. Because you have to push incredibly
God.
deep to find out where Trent and Valen are playing. They fall back into really safe positions, and they double up with people like Jonah P, for example, who can take contact against them. Jonah's job here is just to defend Trent, essentially. He's got his own private bodyguard. And then you've got Jorg in front, trying to find timings and create
Stay locked.
distractions.
Pause.
So Sen, they get dropped down onto a low eco. They lose all of their rifles, including the operator that they were
My
going to work
bestie
with.
said to Stuffu, you're ruining it all.
And I think they've
I
also
wasn't
got
even
to take
talking.
a bit of a strategic shift.
I literally
It's
haven't
one thing
spoken
to
like
say
5
they're
minutes.
massively in the lead. It's absolutely true. They had a phenomenal first half. But you still need to be
Side
fighting
bow.
people as they enter the choke points, as they enter the sites. I think it's pretty similar analysis to what we were talking about on Split. You can't just play off. You can't allow yourself to
Why
be
am I
pushed
sitting?
away too much because the G2 post plans.
Josh said to sit like a good boy, so I sat. Okay, that was weird.
Kaplan
I'm
feeling
sitting
the need to take
because
time out
it's
here,
working.
again,
I don't know.
The advice that's obviously Josh RT was trying to offer up to his team before they got into Pearl. Can't let your foot off the gas. Same can be said here for Sentinels. Doesn't matter how close you are to that finish line to closing out Pearl,
You are
getting
40
into
years
the next
old.
map, which is Ascent. G2 are also aware they can run it back one round at a time. That's all it takes. You cannot give these teams ins. They're too good for that.
Sen, along with a strategic adjustment, might just be thinking, let's build up to ults. Let's just
Yeah.
try to get to map point on a massive ult round. The problem being there that John just used his Tejo ult, and the others, they're a little
All
way
right,
off.
dude. It's Eco.
But the more kills they can get, the more ult orbs they can farm, the better they'll be.
Bring them down.
And it did look like John was maybe making a little play for it there.
I just joined with the first two maps close or blowouts. They were close.
Util by both teams.
I think map 1 was 13-9 as well, or 13-10.
Beginning really of the round, aren't we? With the barriers started, both of them, no space.
Right? Was it 13-10 or 9?
All through mid.
Both
And they're
13-9.
troubled up looking, hoping that somebody will walk into them through mid, but
13-9
G2 are going
is
in
close.
a different spot.
It's a really common eco play to try to take the fight a barrier drop through mid. So I think Sen are just doing a variation where it's a lot slower and kind of hoping that G2 are going to wander into them, as you said. But that Vice Flash in the mid round gives Leaf a lot of information that nobody's pushed up. And now, after the Vice Flash, this is where John calls for them to go and move forwards.
I'll find you. Bring them down.
It's also going to be seen at this point here, so they're aware G2 making moves over towards the B site.
Is there any
Players
universe
are a
we can
while
retake
away.
this?
Spike planted.
Nothing used by Sen either to push this one back, and Bang was hoping that there was a potential opportunity there. Window where nobody was going to be watching for him, but he's swiftly dismissed.
I think not.
Sentinels are hoping for kills so that they can get closer to ults, so that they can force them out of G2 in fear. But G2 just looking really solid.
It's a chokehold on every
I wonder if
single
dying to Spike
choke
would have been
point.
better, but it's hindsight, perhaps.
No one can really
Mayhaps.
step over that line here. Zelsis gonna have it in his mind. He doesn't really want to go down to them either. He'd hope to let's go down to the Spike, but he's revealed.
What the
Round
fuck
to
was
the
that?
corner.
Why
Trent
is he shaking
even
his
gets
ass in
it.
front of him like
G2
that?
in spots like this, doesn't matter that they're down rounds, they're still thinking about min-maxing.
They are. That's one of the worries. It's all well and good to say, well, Sentinels at some point will just get up to a huge amount of ultimates and they'll win a round. But if you're never forcing them out of G2, that round's actually going to be dead even.
Yeah.
It's just going to be chaos. Ults on either side.
Fentanyl. I love it.
Is it fentanyl? What is it?
Is this, round 18, the spot where Sen tried to invest Euro ult? Or do they want to save it for something where they've got a bit more backup? These are the difficult spots. These are the tough decisions for John to make. Because G2, they
Someone
have
said
everything to
WTF
win
is
this
wrong
round.
with this generation, Kev
Jorg
W.
could crack open a site for them, and they've got good ults for post-plant or to stop retakes from coming through.
Even Leaf. Him and Zekken, two players who have been opted into the Outlaw the most when they're tracking the money.
Yeah, there's
Four
four
players are Sentinels on half armor, so could do some damage with that one on top of it here. Dimensional Drift clears the way, spots out 3. Do you call a cancel? Do you want to hard commit into this? Back through into it. Bang. He's not shy, he's not scared, but now we'll have to back away here. But there's a Thorns by his side, stand up, spam into the corner. There's no real chance for him there. Too much util. Kitchen sink being thrown at him in the process. Jorgamo's earned his team a bit of a foothold as well. Calling for the pause as well.
So much util, bro. Look at this.
A reclearance called for here by Sen. Wide face, John. Just step up to it. Armageddon out. Lay it into the back along with the pull.
Wow.
The player's going to be falling prey to this one. It's up to John to stand down against most of this team. G2
come on, nerd.
starting to get their footing again. To this side, slowly but surely the discipline is there. Making sure that they can. And an unfortunate 140, but flips it well back around. Zelsis doesn't expect that. G2,
I'm standing up.
They are clawing this one back. Their start, at least there has to be a bit of a worry, I think, at the back of Sentinel's minds.
That's enough.
Absolutely, there's going to be a worry. But I think there's a small silver lining that they did force so many ults out here. And John realized when Bang went down, okay, we are not playing for retake at this point. There's no smokes, so he wide swings out, tries to take the fights at art. But they forced out 3 ultimates for G2. They made it costly. They're going to decide themselves to force up with a Guardian, with a Bulldog, with light armors on every player. And they're going to try to win this round. This has got to be where they stop the G2 comeback.
I mean, it's a hell of a gambit. You lose this, your money's going to be butchered here. And even though it is only 2 rounds, brings G2 one step closer to equalizing. There are no more second chances if Sentinels end up losing this map. It goes out of their grip. G2 all the way forwards here. Quick approach in through connector. They have a lot of space.
Everyone chill.
Deeper wall, though, being placed by Zelsis. It's not going to make the same mistake as last time, where they took the time and passed it. Sentinels are putting a premium on trying to hold on to that B-long control. Zekken at the forefront of it. Drone gets broken. Very much far forward here with a Seal Guard and Zelsis. Getting a bit of a move on. He's still going to be caught, though, so he's not going to have a gun to try and help Zekken out into this spot. Zekken very much alone. Util used, ult forced out of him just to try and get the hell out of there. So 2 plays making a bit of a wraparound and a move around. Sentinels haven't given up a lot of map control, though. The pivot is called for. G2 might find themselves in a bit of a trap.
30 seconds.
Where are they going? Are they going B?
Fakes on fakes, obfuscating where the intention is. G2 running their way back. Zekken, though, spots it out. Space is still being held down, and he could be that difference maker. TP in.
What a TP!
What a play!
There's
That's
a small
so
gap
sick.
in the
Past
back.
the cosmic
These
divide.
little sweaty fucks!
Completely hides the intent, Jorgamo.
That was awesome.
You want a little bit more.
That was so awesome.
They might have just delivered a bit of a death blow here to Sentinels.
And they need to win this one. It has to be the full investment. And what's the case with the economy? Nightfall up and over. A lot of queues cut away, but the util's going to be broken down anyway. Up through the top, Sentinels are going to be doubled up. Valen can't hear a thing. You have to rely on it. Raw reaction times. And a crossfire setup is there. G2. They let nothing slip. They hear it scurrying away. The rifles to remain. At this point, it's becoming a reality. G2, they're feeling empowered.
That was such a nice play out of the strat hook from G2. The Astra ult disguising all of the audio cues so that Jorgamo can teleport into the tiniest little crack at the back of halls. Completely caught Zelsis off guard. And G2 don't allow Sen to escape with a single gun.
Jake, your wall was insane, bro. I think you're behind him. You didn't even know.
Wait, it wasn't a set play.
Okay.
That's not
It
even
wasn't even a
from
set
the
play! Oh my god, they're just making shit up.
Josh is writing that one down. We're
Josh
going to run that
wrote
one
down the
again.
new
Wait a minute.
strat.
Yeah, okay,
He's like, wait, they might have cooked something.
And Joel gets in.
Oh,
that was
god.
nasty good. I mean, yeah, they got to ask the players at the end.
That is so fucked, man.
If we get a chance to
He
talk
was
to them.
took a note.
It's not going to be going through these players' mind, though. Sentinels on our
took a
screen
note,
here. It's the
man.
second time I've
They're just
taken.
making shit up, yeah.
Spells it all out, I think. This is a worrying sign. Kaplan having a stern word with them.
Now, they called to go for the Gambit. And you said it was very risky in the previous round, right? They bought up, they had a Bulldog, a Guardian, light armors on everybody, and they chose to invest 2 big ultimates. They used the Euro ult and the Fade ult to try to retake. But they're still going to get up to about 3 in this round. They still have Steel Garden to work with, Bang can ult in order to help them retake, and that's really difficult for G2 to deal with.
Everyone's hitting 1,500 kills today?
And there's a Tejo ultimate online here as well, potentially for John QT. Now, I'm not saying that they should use them right here, because the money is so bad. But for the next round, eventually, finally, Sentinels will have some level of an ult advantage and equal rifles.
They just need that tipping point.
All they need is 1. Surely at some point, Sen will be able to get it. But thus far, in this half,
it's hard.
They've only been able to get the 1 round, and G2 have had 6.
Jonah P, risky here. You're up against the weaker buy. He is so far forwards, but immediately backing away. Could have been dangerous if Sen were ready to really jump on the opportunity, but seeing it salvos into the back is a fast play. All in. Cheeky back salvos. For the team damage, Jorgmo sets the clone forwards first. That's a stinger in your face, and the team does help out!
How does
Strength from the side. Tucked up onto the corner, though. Zelta's eventually cleaned up there with a trade.
One enemy remaining.
And it's all watched for. Plan an attempt to disrupt by Narrate. But this was their half-by round. G2 though will be up to 9 as a result of it.
And I said previously, round 19 had to be where Sentinels stopped the G2 comeback. But this next one, with 3 ults for Sentinels, assuming that John doesn't just die to Spike here. Okay, with 3 ults available for Sen, rifles online, and G2 have no ults at all. If Sen don't win this, I don't see how they're winning the map, because this has got to be the most advantaged they've been in the entire half.
They have almost everything.
Come on, guys.
The problem is G2 have been working them so well.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, let's go.
Here, Jonah P pulling a couple of people off B. They get that free teleport into the back of halls.
Tempo increase.
And Narrate, he's not as emotionally stressed as we saw him earlier on in the year. He wears his heart on his sleeve, but you can tell that the pressure's getting to him a bit. They're down 0-2 in the series, and G2 are pulling off a monster comeback.
All smiles earlier for Sentinels for good reasons, but as you said, it's starting to crack. G2, very real run of things here with the amount of rounds that they've been able to pull together. A main control maintained for now by Zekken. G2 showing presence. Decoy forwards in the hope that there is a wall here.
Darka?
Bang's position I quite like.
He shot it.
Jorgamo's been going for Hall's teleports, which means that the rest of the team isn't really going to have that Yoru flash to go through the smoke. Do they mix things up? Bang takes the timing inside.
All grouped up, Bang. You've been a playmaker, and you are once more! 2! Immediately ripped away! Dodging and weaving as bullets whistling past. He's grazed. Limping out of the fight for now, but he's bought time and a lifeline for Sentinels themselves. It's what they needed.
They so desperately needed Bang to be a hero.
So close.
Stray spam again. Any player at G2 could fall at a moment's notice, but now here it is. Second wave of the Util once more off to the corner. That's a stun!
Nice,
Bang! Still, where's the response? Steel Garden is there. No weapons at all. Nothing to work with. Shorty in hand. Trent does the best
Bang
he
is our
possibly
hero,
can.
man.
But finally the tipping point.
Dude.
And it
Thank
wasn't
God
the
he
ults
went
that
in
made
the
the difference
smoke,
in
man.
the end.
Thank God he went in
Celsius
the
throws
smoke,
his in,
dude.
but it's all Bang.
Oh my God, dude.
Finally,
Even that
after
third
6
kill.
rounds in a
Honestly,
row
I
from
was
G2,
still worried in the
Bang
5v3.
figures out a little gap.
I was still worried in the
small
5v3.
window of opportunity.
Like this kill
Where
was
Jorgmo was
insane.
prepping that flash to pop out through the smoke. Bang catches them.
Oh, nice. Nice, boys. Let's go.
Literally, dude. Literally.
That's a scream of relief. That's
Literally.
a release of tension that has been building for Sentinels. And now a bit of a
Straight into it,
scrap.
man. Yeah, these are players, these are bodies that are going to be facing up here. Sentinels! It's almost everything thrown at them. On either side here for G2. They get the advantage now. Dimensional drift. Can set the pace a bit differently here. You could speed up on the backside of it here, especially with Jorgamo spotting out
Look
two
at
of the
us hiding,
players.
bro.
Thorns.
Look at us hiding.
Drop down. Dimensional drift is going to be fading. And now that Armageddon paves the way potentially to success for them. Jorgamo, though, you got to try and get the hell out of there. The clone's going to be eating the bullet for it. And the call is made to try and fight forward. Sentinels. It's about how they absorb this now. It's a gambit to be played, but the round swings on its head.
They tried together.
Jorgamo rips away 2 lives. Sentinels have got to get it done now with just Celsius and Bang.
I think we should save so we can buy next. Right?
Spam into the
They
corner.
haven't even yet. Wait, what?
Spot an over and over. Bang. Still trying to spam them down. Leaves it just down to Celsius. It's too much to overcome.
Kind of broke. Can we buy?
G2 not done yet.
Deciding to turn up the tempo massively there, putting crazy early round pressure on with the Tejo ultimate.
They came back set like a football team.
Sentinels tried to throw the kitchen sink at G2. Here's those 2 kills though. I really like what they're going for. A Prowler so that you draw all of the eyes forwards and then a Yoru flash afterwards. The combo is good, but Jorgamo spams 2 of the Sentinel players down as they're trying to retake Secret. The economy's crushed. And this is all going to come down to the final round, Bren, as to whether or not we go to OT.
Unless Sen can pull out some sort of miracle. We've seen it before.
Woo!
Extra information.
The damage.
Narrate. It's a bait and switch. Hoping that they wouldn't expect him to just be creeping up there, but no damage. No kill, I should say. Damage definitely done to Leaf.
It's a half buy.
Sen, so fast to try to respond to this, thinking that it was going to be one of the B execs that G2 have been running.
Pop
A
pass.
re-clear too. They have too many bodies on this side of the map. They needed the info. They need to spread the defense out again.
Jorgamo's causing all sorts of mayhem. Making all sorts of noise as well. He's pulling bodies straight back. Sen were happy to fast rotate to try and follow where the action could go.
And they think the action is still coming B. The spike is still over in that direction, but G2 look like they've got the read from Leaf. They should be heading away from Jorgamo. Jorgamo fires a couple of extra shots, just trying to keep bodies secure on the B site. And he's kept them there. 4 players for Sen, none of them budging an inch.
From QT Dodo does have the salvos. When he sees this one coming, he's going to be able to at least respond to delay this plan from going down. Chooses to use them early.
As well.
Yeah, Thorns. This slowed, time bought.
It's going to be 5v5 retake?
But this is going to be a plan.
I think it's
this
B
is
for
going to
some
be
reason.
post-plant setups.
Into the side! John! This could be it.
Dude!
Talk about a turning point. All it takes is one more round, and John QT delivered them a worldie of a round so far. Enough to potentially take them to the finish line. Oh, it's expended at this point. Jonah rips away 2. But he needs more where that came from. Off to the side of Jar with a movement. Weaving in and out. Sentinels! They've done it!
Oh my god, man.
Still
Dude,
alive!
we almost lost that round.
Pearl is theirs to claim.
John, holy fucking shit. God bless you.
At the 11th hour, 2 heroes stepped up for Sentinels.
And kiss it, bro.
Bang on a rifle round, and John QT with a 2K spray down with a stinger in Secret.
Yeah.
Kind of player I
dude,
don't think I've seen.
Why was that so close,
to win
man?
13-10.
Can't be clean.
But that was a 10-2
They just
half.
don't give up. These
and
fucking
G2 almost
freaks
pulled
don't
off a
give up.
comeback.
The heart's going to be pumping, man.
Pretty
Don't give
reminiscent,
up.
actually, of the last time we saw these 2 teams play on Ascent, where a ridiculous first half from Sen and an almost comeback for G2. That's the map we're headed
It's
into
never
next.
free.
And Sen have got the better of G2
Wasn't
on
it
those next 2
11-3?
maps coming up. Of
It
course,
was
Ascent
11-3,
already
right?
teed it up. That doesn't mean they can really do it a second time in a row. As we've already been mentioning, often the team that loses are going to be putting the time in to make sure that they shore up the map.
10 to
Fix up the
11-3.
weaknesses still. It's a best of 5. Tenacious. Both of these teams are not willing to give up whatsoever.
My god, man.
Josh RT did not get his wish with an easy closeout
We're
here
going
on
to Ascent
Pearl.
again, chat.
And things are only going to get more difficult, I think. The tension is going to build so
Ascent
massively
will
as we
be
head towards
interesting,
these
right?
final 2 maps.
Let's see how
Unreal
defense
scenes
looks in
all
both
around here.
teams.
The trophy on the line, the potential for a G2 back-to-back. Sentinels just trying to stay alive and get a reverse sweep, potentially making history of their own. It's all
G2
yet to be
have so
seen,
much
of course.
stamina, bro.
We'll be taking a quick break on the other side of things. Map number 4. You don't want to go anywhere.
It's insane. These guys just fucking playing all day, every
during that last map that Sentinels ended up taking, and I want to give you a little check-in. Starting with Sentinels, if you had not told me that Sen were on stage down 2 in a finals, I would have had absolutely no idea. I swear it sounded like solo queue out there, especially in the first half. They were very goofy, they were silly, they were having a good time. There were people whistling in comms while John's in a 1-on-4 clutch. It didn't matter, they were cruising. Other good news for Sen fans is Kaplan, when he's got his head in his hands in the timeout and he looks really frustrated. No, he's actually very calm. He's not mad, he's not frustrated, he's not upset, he's angry. No, he is just giving the exact plan he wants his team to do, the micro details that he wants his players to execute on. So good news on that front. Looking at the other side coaching-wise, Josh RT coming out of round 14, which G2 ended up losing after winning Pistol to the eco of Sentinels, was frustrated. He gave them a hard conversation saying that they needed to, refine themselves as a team, get back to their identity, and know who they are. And you better believe that after losing that final round against an eco, there's going to be another hard conversation coming in the back rooms. We're going to send it over to the desk because there's a lot more Valorant to be played.
Couldn't agree more.
Fuck! The fuck is Soup banned in the US? Is this a good clip or back clip?
I think so. I think I do. I think it forces me to be more put together
with people.
Yeah, because like when Tarek's not there, I am a mess. Like physically, mentally, everything. I just don't care.
Are you guys like both relatively clean?
He's very clean.
He's super clean.
He's actually more clean than I am.
I'm surprised.
I know, which makes me feel really.
Stop it! Nah,
I'm sorry.
Nah.
He's actually super clean, super.
Don't be
neat.
ridiculous.
Like he'll clean my messes.
Can I
which
message
then
you?
Makes me feel really self-conscious. I'm like, wow, I'm a awful roommate, and he always takes out the trash.
Okay, but he doesn't teach you Valorant.
I know.
That was good.
That's crazy. Bad roommate.
Yeah,
I
what's
know.
up?
Bad
Sorry, bro.
roommate.
I didn't want to bother
I
you.
live with Terry.
I don't
got
want to
here.
bother you.
I would.
Oh, wow.
I
Just good
asked
guys.
him
Holy
to
shit.
teach me Valorant.
does the sickest like one click
What are you thinking, bro?
flicks, and I'm like, how do you do that? And he's like,
Practice.
Ascent
That's
defense,
just how I
there's a world.
am.
They need the same kind of half they had the first half of Pearl.
Thank you, Myung. That's very sweet.
9-3, 10-2
Stop
type
being weird in the
half.
chat. I'm gonna ban you. 9-3 we need?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, they need, like, a really strong defense half on Ascent.
I think we start defense because they picked it, right?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah.
You should.
Well, surely.
Wait, but why does it say Ascent as attackers right now? On Valorant screen.
There must be a glitch in the matrix.
Yeah, there's no way.
I guess there's the pressure of when you're on defense, like, hey, like, you know you need to get these certain amount of rounds, but there's no way they don't pick it. Like, yeah, they start defense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Sen picked defense. Because the last time they picked defense too, remember? And they, like, won WO3.
Yeah, they should definitely pick defense. Guys, if you keep being weird, I'm going to put it on sub mode, and then I don't want to do that because then it looks like I'm a sellout. But, like,
Up 2-1 in the series, going into a final 2 maps against an opponent that looked rough to start the series, but have heated up towards the end. This time, they've got to
you might be on the wrong mic.
This
I don't know
BO5 slip. I think they absolutely want to close it out here, 3-1.
tweaking! Oh my god, I just spit everywhere.
Run when you're on that
Holy
defensive
fuck.
side that you can just end up not being able to make the comeback because you're down by so many rounds.
By the same coin, John QT was up 2-1 in the series, right? Down 2-1 in the series when they were back in the finals of Ascension, when Valen and the boys defeated him, got their spot in the partnership system, and have now found themselves here in second chance to go back-to-back to win a second trophy in the row in Americas.
Would be huge for them.
Can I use my phone for 1 minute or no?
Sentinels push this one to a fifth match. Well, folks, Ascent is coming up right after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
Another fucking break? Might as well go fuck myself. Brother, it's your stream. Go on your phone. But my friends in the chat get mad.
Quite undecided, but it could be
friends, I mean the
one of
subs.
these teams
Sorry.
as well. Sentinels are hoping that it's not the case, that they can do it again against G2, like they did in the past, and it was a closely fought affair. I mean, listen, a 13-11, I think, was the scoreline in the end, even though it was dominance. On the one side, it's a bit of a weird one, almost like Pearl that we just watched here and now. But everything to play for, really, to stay alive in the tournament and a chance to grab that trophy in front of you. Not just a chance, I mean, you will be lifting it if you can win the whole thing.
My thought process is if I get parasocial with you first, then you won't get parasocial with me at all.
Perfect sides for the narrative. When we were talking about Split,
I beat
we
to
got
the
a
punch.
rerun of seeing Sentinels on defense and how they'd adjusted that. Now we're going into Ascent, and it's the perfect narrative. Attack side and see whether their Waylay, which I think you can spot there at the top right, is actually going to be able to find those openings. They must have made adjustments, but Sentinel's game plan was so strong at being able to shut down Jorgamount.
That's a big thing, I think. G2 is definitely going to be focusing on making sure that that doesn't happen again. Able to get into these fights. When I was watching the VOD back this morning, definitely a case of, like, I think what G2 were just kind of not quite rushing into things, but Sen definitely had a heavy read in terms of where they needed to place most of the players to try and push back, usually defending, fighting them often.
What does Waylay ult do?
But
You're asking the wrong guy, bro. I watched the games. I don't know.
The same
I'm just kidding. The Waylay ult is like a breach ult, but instead of like throwing you up in the air, it hinders you, which is a new stun ability. When you get hindered, your game is in slow motion, and you're basically just fucking stoned.
Because if you're not going to change the Waylay, you have to change how you play the Waylay. Sen had so much momentum in that first half of Pearl. Trickled off slightly, but it ended strong with some big individual moments, some hero plays. And so those tough talks from G2.
It's more like an acid trip, Ascent supposedly.
Versus Ascent, who are now feeling like the comeback might be doable. Who's in a better position here as we head into Ascent?
Absolutely. And now, listen, momentum might have been taken away towards the tail end of that map for Sentinels.
Stop saying let's go G2, bro. It's just weird behavior.
But they got the better side. I mean, Ascent is so important starting on defense.
What's your time, by the way? 35, 34? 33?
33, 32, yeah.
Exchange on either side here. Now, position of the knife was getting
I hope you know that.
quite hard by MLR. Bass was taking liberties, pushing into mid. It looks like Zekken wants
to have a chance of
his own. It's a flash to try and push past,
Honestly,
but immediately dashes back, but he is
good.
committed! Oh my, almost doesn't matter, but still traded out in the end. That's Valin.
Oh no.
Pushed up deep
Observer?
now, just like that.
Nice try, guys.
First domino falls, the rest of them top
3-1, lock it in?
Yeah, a couple of players over towards Catwalk really wanting to try to
nice try on the
force
round.
the fight.
Okay.
What the fuck, you gave up already?
No, I thought you gave up.
That opening, I think,
I was
tells me
gauging
quite
you.
a lot when I'm watching this VOD back. Like I said, when G2 were playing against MIBR, the position of the knife and their opening defaults.
John, I'm gonna you dry if you do something
Already
crazy
making
here.
changes and moves and maybe coming to fruition unless John can do something about it here and now.
I don't even blame him.
Too much there. Weaving in and out, playing off each other beautifully.
And you talk about momentum. This pistol round on the attack side is hyper important on Ascent. On the attack side of Ascent, you might only win 3-4 rounds on the attack side total.
Yeah.
So
Can you call me
a
weird, Terry?
pistol and
Same
probably
bestie.
the follow-up is enormous. Just changes the numbers so much.
Major difference indeed. Zelsis looking around here, but almost expected here by Leaf.
Well played.
You don't want this guy getting off to a good start either, bro.
This
Went
Nate
on
guy's
at
scary.
the very beginning of Pearl. They were able to string 7
I just know him
rounds
as
together
Leaf.
in a row by
I don't know
chaining
him as
these
Nate. I don't know
ultimates,
him
by
as Nate.
getting
That's
themselves
the
into
best thing
positions.
No joke, I
Forcing
call him
G2
Nate,
down
he
onto
looks at me
Ecos
twice.
constantly.
He's like, what'd you say? I'm not kidding.
I think you would do the same thing to me. I've never called him Nate or Nathan.
Nice. Yo, we're halfway there.
I mean, might be a reference to Valin saying that we only need 2 on the attack side. This map is by far and away our most, one-sided map that we have in the pool currently. It's crazy defense-sided usually. Some teams running the double sentinel.
Yeah.
But even when they're not in a match like this, last time we just saw teams rack up defense round after defense round over and over again.
The way it's been shaken out. Sentinels on these eco rounds have been setting up trap plays. Everyone cooked up over towards B.
Yeah, bit of a gamble this one. And looking like it's going the wrong way.
She-bar, they're going A.
A flash into B main, just for some information.
Back in a
That
flash.
doesn't reveal a thing here. Could use some util to at least try and push G2 back.
Take the jacket off. No, I'm comfortable. Leave me alone.
Well, Nade into the corners. Found a slight window here, and yep, he takes it straight towards the back, but classic at hands, not the weapon of choice.
The Tejo drone is so powerful in that spot to want to die to the spike because you do not want to charge up these ultimates. This is the worst map in the entire game if the attacker starts some kind of ult snowball because you're expected to get so many defense rounds.
It's the play here for Sen. You are right. I mean, the spike might just be the most optimal.
And so think about this from G2's perspective. You actually want to go and find where they're hiding to try to die to spike. Like, G2 really should try to break the wall and go for this.
Through this one at the final moment here. A lot of Yuto going to be expended though. Jorgama order, yeah, that's half. One of the fuses. Oh,
well, that's just fucking annoying.
That's
just it's annoying.
Could be problematic.
There's no other words for it.
Yeah, if the idea there was to die to spike.
Tarek,
Yeah.
Not really accomplished.
This
Trent
G2
picking
team,
up
right?
3 with the
Like everyone
salvos
hate
towards
watches
the
them,
end.
but like I also
don't
hate
really
watch them.
think the Sen-
But there's no reason for me to do it. These guys are like all the nicest guys in the world.
No, we have nothing against the players.
Yeah. But I don't have anything against anybody in terms of that. It's just
It just
I
feels
think
right.
they play so perfectly that it's annoying to watch.
100%. I actually don't know why I hate watch them either. I just feel like it's the right thing to do.
There's literally no personal reason.
Don't worry about that too
at
much
all.
right now.
We just
But this
won
is the round, I think, where we can really take a look
it makes
at
no
how
sense. And I've
G2
been trying to figure it out for 2
attack
days
side.
now.
Because this, they're probably going to bring out a set strat, a set tactic, to try to set Jorgamo up for success. And they've threatened a little bit of A main.
This is the right thing to do, guys.
A main, in order to threaten
Wait,
that they
chat.
could be through
But I'm not gonna lie. We've been hate watching them these past few days, and they keep winning. Maybe we have to stop hate watching today. But like, I don't know.
No bodies on the
I
center
don't know
side
how
to
what we
receive them, though.
do because the hate watch has not been working. It's been stealing them.
They just flash close mid to let them know that there's nobody here. So Jorg can walk in here without using the Tejo drone, without using smokes even.
Still being saved here by G2. What a util here by G2. They're just trying to potentially pull players. Util of their own. Over the wall, Jorgamo.
Nice.
Just dropped. Celsius had his eye on that one.
That's the most common position for the Vice Wall, so a bit strange that G2 got caught out heavily by it there.
A lot of pressure, though, still being applied, and that means 3 players of Sentinels are still here, so anchoring onto the side is all onto Celsius and Zekken. See if they can stand tall against most of this one. Only the one for Zekken before he does go down, and a pause is called for. G2 don't have a lot of time to work with. They're hoping that Sentinels will overplay themselves, potentially into them, but now they got to try and make a move forwards, and Zeltas could be that win condition. Not quite just the one, but yeah, right from the side, narrate.
Okay, 3 alive.
Nicely done overall.
Guaranteed to get like 9? No, like you can still easily have a bad defense.
B players, Zeltas in particular.
Not bad. You need 8 rounds, trust me.
But I'm a bit confused by what G2's
like
game
it's
plan was
easy
there.
to still like slip up though.
Don't know whether Jorgamo thought that he would get market for
especially off of losing pistol.
But Celsius is almost always going to have a setup that's designed around punishing that.
Thing with G2
early on this stage,
let's go. Like
Celsius looked a little bit shaky on the Vice. He was putting his balls in some unusual spots.
No other team
really
does it as well as they do.
He's in a great spot now on this defense side, where it can be a nightmare trying to run B splits against him.
Can I turn him up? Is he low? I turned him up a little bit.
Another defaulty beginning to this. Not going straight into executes. Not giving easy cues for Sentinels to realize where Jorgamo's going to be popping from. It's much more about working the map. G2 starting by threatening some A main control, then they've been going back to mid.
PlayStation.
And trying to run B splits or A splits.
Spikes in the middle of nowhere, though. Again, the goal was just to slowly work the map here for G2. Drone push back, make sure that Zekken can't get that mid-round information. Nothing stopping him from re-clearing it, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Are the re-clears going to come through? And here it is, pop flash into A main, and Bang gets some more information. So he realizes that G2 are not over towards A right now, but this actually gives Valin a good time to end A.
Hey, Tarek, your chat makes me want to crash out, but you're a W streamer, W watch buddy. What's the chat doing to you? We have some of the nicest chatters in the world here.
Sentinels.
Right, guys? Smile?
So our players here, the right joining, ensuring that Cat is sufficiently defended there. Up through tree, the Armageddon does need to be watched for. Bang, salvos at your feet as well. That's a
Look at
tricky
Bang's
spot
movement
indeed,
right there.
Already dashed in, disengaging, and now the double faces there from G2. Oh,
it's
anticipated with Bang's position. Takes out 2 of them immediately. Sight potentially theirs as well.
Huge, actually.
Trades
nice
there
moves.
instantaneously. Trent.
I don't know if they expect him so fast.
Yeah, Jordan has the timing.
Spot the G2 were in as well without too much control of anything else.
Left smoke, oh my god.
Certainty, that smoke fades as well. Zelsis might be caught very unaware. Just on a push, and he's already isolated just the one.
He's low.
Valin low enough that it should just be easy business. Yes, indeed.
Wow, Bang did really well. Bang did so well.
An incredibly important round for Sen to convert. A 2v2. Those can get really dangerous against G2. But Sen fought them in the choke point. Look how quickly Jorgamo was forced to use his refract. He got in with a double dash and a bunch of util. I mean, G2 used tons of utility to try to set him up, but he was forced to recall immediately.
Look at you go. Look at you go. God.
What?
Now G2 with Stingers and a Guardian. And thus far, haven't really seen that value from the Waylay that we're looking for. Many more rounds here, though, to study.
He's about to say something crazy. I agree.
Second.
After that,
Amazing at the
I think
start
he
of
is
the
about to say something
series.
crazy.
White hot.
Here's that rush. Here's that rush you were talking about.
Maradona, nice salvage
Yeah,
at your
they
feet
love
as well.
this
This is a dangerous spot for Zekin to be placed in. It's already taken damage.
dash
as a
lane.
result.
Good dagger. I think didn't he scan 5? I think he
Breaking
scanned
that
5.
scan was
Flash as
huge.
well.
They broke
Pushes
it?
Zelsis back into
Yeah.
a potential spot as well.
No,
He could
scan,
do that
not that
damage.
scan.
It's exchange with the fire. Kills are being found.
I think everyone just knows
Sentinels
it's
getting
coming
it
now.
still. It's a double face up
I
in
was
the
the
end by
first victim of
G2.
this.
Almost wrangling control of the
But
rifle
even
for the
still, they've
two-piece,
been
but it
pulling
is
it
all
off.
there.
Like,
Yeah, I know. It's
Controlled.
hard to stop, honestly.
Corral, G2.
Well, the thing is,
No
the
more
reason it's
options here
bad
for
now
Valorant.
is because they're playing against a Vise as
Drone
well.
gives
So
up.
if a Vise is there, it's even harder.
the wall is just fucking
Still gets the
GG.
one.
On the
Yeah,
volley.
wall
Quick
and,
to make sure that
yeah.
that's all it is.
Only Waylay gets out.
And no opportunity for G2 to get
They
through
didn't
that
smoke
choke.
it right there either. They wanted to just fight it.
Completely
Yeah.
stuffed. Celsius with a gorgeous
I
flash.
think it's smart, right? Because they
Salvo's
know they
coming
have
They're
bad
literally
guns.
hoping, they're legit hoping that
Jorgamo
they
used
just meet
his dashes just to kind of avoid the
the
salvos. Double dash
defense at the
inside B
entrance,
main.
basically. They take those
I
fights.
didn't buy my
Yeah.
second smoke.
As soon as they don't get
damn
that
it,
initial
Sean, why would
kill,
you
it
do that?
becomes hard.
I didn't catch that, but thankfully it didn't
He
matter
looks
at all
mad,
for
but I
them.
don't know if he's mad about
Maybe
something
that's the
going wrong
reason
or
why
just mad they
Sen were
lost.
fighting so hard. I think it was a good strategy in the end, though.
I thought at the top. This
Derek
was
mentioned
weighted
at
out by the
ALGS.
rank, so
Is Timmy doing well at
started
ALGS?
till
Timmy's team?
if
Does
needed.
anyone know?
It's a round where you can go for a pretty big ult play for G2. The convergent paths can be deadly.
Oh, they
Goes for a frag.
lost?
He wants to try and bait this wall out, which he has done.
Already?
Back to mid, back to safety.
That's important. Zelsis
It's
has been
over?
really good at defending
Oh.
his wall from Yoru clones. Jorgamo has to put his body on the line, so it's a little risky,
Dawkins
but he gets
won,
away with
yeah.
it. And now he's got a good angle to go for his ult. He can ult into A main if they get in for the bangs playing there, or into sight if they see John.
I turned them up a little bit more.
There's a flash rebound here.
Why is Sentinel so
Gonna be
bad?
aware
Fuck
that
you mean
it's
why is Sentinel so bad?
Fake pressure over towards
It's
Cat.
3-2, we're winning.
Still in control of it. Jump spot gets a good acknowledgement.
Saibao.
Oh my, that's a bullet to the head though that you're not looking for. Still, we're gonna see it now. Dividing straight up into the
Character's
side here with the
insane.
salvos towards the back once more.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, he has
Jorgamo
Visor, he's
needs to
gonna
lead
use
the
it right now,
chance for the rest of his team. They don't have control of main though, and a dash
think.
straight forwards
No.
into the arms of Leaf. Get the Thorns waiting for Nadia Armageddon. This is going to be
no.
chaotic indeed.
Is this skipping?
Swinging from the side though, just finding that timing.
Nice.
The Steel Garden rips away a lot of the weapons, but the util is still good. Sen have chances and more.
Dude, what is
Zelsis
Leaf doing? Oh my
finally
God.
removed. Thorn
What
in
is
their
that?
side.
Wait, dude.
John QT, they're here forwards,
Tried
trying
to
to
help
take that
market,
fight.
but
The plan was going down, but
just focus on that.
all watched for. High-low setup at G2.
Just hold B main
It might
down.
seem a little bit strange,
Yeah,
but the
'cause it's like,
adjustment
there's
from
no way there's
Jorgamo in
nobody
this
beat it.
round
Yeah,
was to
one
use
guy.
his dash way earlier. G2 are getting into sights just by walking in.
They got 3
together.
already. Should I stand?
Obviously, Leaf gets a bit of a freebie there. They caught Zekken dead to rights in B main. But Jorg used his dash just to cut up the market angle.
I stand for
He
my
didn't
homies.
dash
I rap for
out
my
of
homies.
market. He'd already used his dash and his refract before he even took a step into the site. And this is, I think, already a pretty successful attack half for G2.
Yeah, from what we know, at least how Ascent is operated.
And with how good their defense was before.
Yeah.
The Waylay, pretty underrated actually on
How
defense.
can I stop biting my nails?
Saturate is
It's a lifelong
difficult to get
issue,
through.
bro.
Sen probably need another hero round here. Maybe from Zekken with the Blade Storm or bang over towards A main, who's been phenomenal.
I don't know, but let me know.
Deep
I've
drone.
had polish.
Leaf's going to be inserted as well into that forward position.
I need to,
Pass most of it here, the flash to the
Nice.
peak. That's a great refight. Sentinels can overextend
What
into
the
this
fuck?
spot
Those
with
guys are
everyone's
fully
in their
open.
backs. They're trying to carve out a path out
They
towards
didn't think
Treated.
he'd
Took
be
the spike in their laps though. Definite options here.
Nah,
Sentinels could
bruh.
capitalize.
Scary now.
Flipping the map entirely
Ooh.
from them. And what a
He's moving,
shot
he's
by
moving.
Bang! Still,
Look at his movement,
wants
dude.
to
His
step up
movement's
even
insane.
more
Yeah, he
here. There's
looks good, he looks
confidence.
good, he looks
You
robotic.
can see it in the way that he's playing. Bullets going to be ringing out.
Oh, nice.
That's how
But
Shroud was in his
overwhelmed.
prime, remember?
With his movement?
A massive
Yeah.
round for Sentinels
Like,
with
robot,
bad
yeah.
weaponry.
Flicky, robotic.
They caught
Yeah.
G2 with that little flash re-clear over towards Tree and put them in a really uncomfortable position. G2's game plan in this round
What
was
POV
to
do
try
coaches
to
get? I think the
condition
coaches have
Celsius
every
that
player's
anytime
POV
his
and their
ball is
webcams and like
popped in
everything.
mid, it's a
And their
fake.
comms and everything.
And this time, actually, Leaf just walked straight through it. So they were hoping that Leaf's lurk would pay dividends. It doesn't.
Nice, boys. Let's go.
It's pretty
Every
fast.
fucking round, boys.
It's pretty chaotic. But it's Sentinels coming out on top, making it look pretty. I think it's got Kaplan stressed in the back over there.
Stop biting your nails,
See it right over his face. But honestly, that was not a bad round from them. They managed to navigate another game plan from G2, another better buy from G2. And now, KO ultimate for Jonah P. Josh RT is going to take attack time out, the first one that they have access to. And so Sentinels are going to need to do an anti-KO setup. So Zelsis playing pretty far away from the Thorns, throw those over to a different player. See if we can get long-range support. And possibly, you know, eyes on John to be using his KO.
What kind of question is that? When's the last time I've been?
Oh, look at that. I mean, look at this. This is the post-plan meta, folks.
No!
One successful retake out of 17
Dude, what?
Wait, what?
I think
there was one successful retake.
I think, you know what's the crazy part? I think it was the last round on Pro, wasn't it? They plant that round? Remember the last round when John got 3?
Have to deal with, but
oh yeah,
I think that was the one retake.
It actually was.
Dude, and it was like a, oh my god, it was like a half buy.
Honestly, a lot of the time you're not even in a good spot when you plant on this map. You've taken so much damage getting to the sites.
Is that accurate, that stat?
So look, Zekken is on A.
Derek, you look like you don't bench at all. What's wrong, my guy? Are you fucking stupid?
And Zelsis is playing on the other side of the map so that the KO ult from Jonah P can't catch him.
Nah, he's rage baiting for sure.
Prime something there with the salvos held onto the appropriate angle, saturated into the corner.
He was expecting a flash.
Yeah, he was. Turned to the side, almost expecting it, as you said, pre-anticipated. Watching all the angles as well as that response.
Nah, it's not defense anymore. What's happening?
This is just unbelievably good from Jorgamo to be able to pick up that second kill as well. A 5v3.
Smoke fading,
clear it, please, I'm begging you, brother.
Called for. Bang has to take risks in this spot. It just
holy fucking
now everyone's gonna say he doesn't clear angles, but like, bro, he's in a shitty spot.
I'm not gonna lie though, there's been like a lot of that this series for Bang.
I know.
Are you
split,
it too?
It was split and then now here.
It was split, but it was unfavorable spots. But yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Haven when he didn't clear like close right out garage, but
oh yeah, that's right. No, there was one before that too. There was a round before that too. There was another one before that.
Oh yeah, when he walked up
C.
Yeah, he walked up to and couldn't cover. Exactly.
Yeah.
So like,
what do we do? Back into the salvos. There's no safety whatsoever.
And Zelsis, he had a couple of 4Ks on
I'm getting
Pearl.
flashbacks to when Nadeshot yelled at Bang on this map. Holy fuck, he mentioned it.
The money's still going to be okay for Sentinels.
Nah, chill.
But it gives G2 a much needed economic cushion. Because the last couple of rounds, they've had like 1 or 2 players with a stinger. And they've been Band-Aid kind of
scrapping together
bits and bobs, yeah.
Difficult decision to make for Zelsis. He has the money to buy for next, but you don't want to feed up the ult.
I'm gonna pee fast 1 sec.
No, you absolutely don't. Jorgamo could get another conversion path online. Second already. And Jonah, the threat of the null command was actually more important here than even using it.
Yeah.
Zelsis recognizes that there's a null command on the other side, so he changes up his Vice setup entirely. That leaves a gap in mid that they have to fill with bodies, and G2 just walk down mid and take the fight. So a great identification of how the game changes just based on threat.
The zone flash, I think, as well, they was trying to avoid.
Was it really?
I'm not too sure. Don't know what happened to it. Something exploded on our screens. Missed it. Either way, this is 4-4 now, and G2, their attack side is looking mighty better.
Yeah, a much slower approach, less execute heavy, but really working well. Zelsis goes back to the same mid wall, and he's playing on site with his util. So if Jonah P pops some kind of fast B hit, Zelsis will not have access to any of this.
All right, here we go.
But I think if it was going to happen, it would have been the previous round. So he's calling the bluff of G2.
Trying up through mid again. Make sure you clear all the angles. Second, he's been playing up close sometimes in through mid. That's back with a conversion pass. No risk to be taken this time, though. Just trigger the wall and get back again.
Wall!
But look like they're gearing up potentially to refight this one once more. Salvo's here. Onto the one side and the other. He's going to be used in response there with a saturate. You can see it pushes back. Zekken, barely alive, just has to updraft and scuttle himself away, but he's dropped down to low HP.
Jorg looking for a timing.
And here's a fight to be had. Narrate. Realizing it, there was a gap there. He's making sure to control that space up through it.
And Zekken backed off to lane instead of B main. Remember last time he got caught in B main on the B split. now adjusting his setup.
This is a slow siege indeed by G2.
Bro, I don't know.
Still
This
waiting
shit
for
is
that
not
util. The
that easy
knife
on
does
defense
rain
right
down.
now. They're like
If Jonah
working.
uses his ult, all of this Vice util will go.
Already pushing forwards. Here it is.
Good smoke.
Now you suppression across the board. How do you battle your way out this one for Sen? There's a timing to be
Don't
taken
not
through
go
the smoke.
through, bro.
The Zelsa's there, do it. The side players, they need
Nice
some
shot.
help. Supportive util. Or do they second just the one?
No.
Instant with the trade. Again, G2 reigns supreme across the site, but no extremity control into it, and time is of the essence. They need to get this plan down. It needs to be held. The 3v3, definite chances, and Sen looking to take it now. Can increase the tempo with that no command up forwards as well. Jump spot gets the acknowledgement.
Oh my god.
These
Oh my
players
god.
have a bang,
glad
just
he's not
holding
rushing
his
it,
ground.
but-
Util into his hands, snappy.
Good
From Celsius,
flash.
blind is even better. Up towards
Nice.
lane and a swing from
Well played,
behind.
well played. He didn't
Very
panic when he saw
drilled by
two guys in
Sentinels.
flash.
Yeah.
Now
he
that
jumped
is a
out of the
lovely
den, too.
retake
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Sen. We saw there was only one successful retake attempt on Pearl. But here, what Bang was doing, jiggle peeking to see whether the threat at stairs was actually real or not before deciding whether or not to invest the paranoia.
I'm not saying we
And so he
need 8.
saves it
I just think 8
and
would
could
be
use
nice.
it for a much better
all
opportunity
I'm
onto the
saying.
site. Combos
I
it
don't
with
think
that
we
KO
need
flash.
it. It would just be nice.
Blinds up Jonah P at the same time as all of Sen move forward as a pack. Both teams actually playing the spacing game, how far away you are from your teammate, really, really well.
Yeah.
They're moving together as one unit, as a hive mind. And that's a big adjustment from how G2 were previously playing, but Sen sticking to what they're great at.
The half fire.
Leaf is coming into this one with only a Sheriff.
Delay with the paranoia. Wall in your face.
That double
Flash in
logs?
the face a second. Took him all the way in. Oh, he's ripped his way back. Okay,
There's 2 guys
refract.
logs or am I high?
Realizing that the
There
Vice
is,
Wall was
okay.
here in B main. I don't think he actually realized that he was about to die from logs. Gets a little lucky. But now that they've triggered out that wall, they know that there's nothing in mid.
You had
so
10
you're
and it
expecting
was
there to be
almost not
bodies
enough.
in mid,
Send
right?
re-clear.
Because the wall
Bro.
isn't there.
Absolutely. They're gearing
The
up to
meta
try and
is
get
ever
control of B main
changing,
again.
bro. That was a few
Flash
days
the peak.
ago. Today's a new day.
I would imagine that G2 are going to try to... Oh, hello.
They heard it.
Yeah. So Trent wants to re-clear this area. Push back Zekken.
Yeah, realizing they can't really threaten the rest of the map if they've lost B main control the entire time.
No one really moved.
But is this going to end up being
It's a good
pop
call.
onto A?
It's pretty hard to know if it's A or B now.
Because Jorgamo, he doesn't
like
have
hold,
refract,
right?
but he still can
Yeah.
close the gap and
But
do
like
a lot
40
of
seconds
damage.
left, they should all be playing for sites, I think.
Like the time is already so low.
That's a position
Yeah, yeah,
still to bang,
Which I think
just
they are
jump
trying
spotting
to.
underneath.
Because
Yeah,
KO's
it's
going to
pretty
flash
close.
over
It's
for
going to be
Roman.
under crazy pressure because when this comes in through
Smoke.
A main, if he turns his back for a moment, there's a backstab on
paranoia.
catwalk.
Already laying down the smoke.
That's okay. KO flash is coming.
Line going to be cleared.
Yeah, and
Narrate.
it's smoked out. They don't even know if it's
Stand
ace
against it.
though.
The heat's going to be turned
Now
up
we
now.
know, so-
Straight away. Convergent Path's going to be slowing it down to a
Oh,
core
this
double dash up
fucking
and over
way,
towards the
oh,
side.
flash.
Safety there.
Oh,
Bang.
what a
Paranoia.
flash.
Brought enough
He
time
was
forward
dead,
and
though.
even dodged that one to saturate to the side.
Bang!
Bang!
Holy fucking
That's unbelievable.
impact!
And just like that, scattered to the wind. Jonah P and Leaf are forced to do
That
it
was
all.
insane
Smokes in your
impact.
face as well. And bullets are raining down on you.
Man.
Umbrella's not going to be saving you much from that one. Leaf. Very awkward spot indeed. ISO's one. Position noted though.
close.
Expecting a second updraft over towards the top.
Oh
How
my
the hell
god,
do you
that's
control
bad
that?
if
You
you couldn't quick. Holy
cannot.
fuck.
So well played in the moment.
What movement from
7-5?
Zekken.
8-4? What are we thinking?
But
8 is
cleaning up
nice.
from a
Yeah,
spot
8's
where
ideal.
Bang gave
I
them
think
the
it's gonna be 7-5.
advantage.
Yeah.
That
Which is
was
still good.
Wait,
masterfully
dude, Bang
played
did
by
so
Bang.
much
The
work there.
paranoia,
He
I think,
smoked
caught onto
main,
three
he got a
people.
Played
paranoia
it
off
insane.
2
Throws
feet
down
away,
the smoke to
and dropped
play around.
another smoke in front of it, and got 2
And
kills.
gets the kill onto Jorgu.
Yeah.
Like, that's
He probably
just
shouldn't be jumping in
fucking
that
wild.
spot.
He
to
saved
be
the round,
honest.
he saved it.
He's trying to jump to play
Those
in his
wiggles by
teammate,
Zekken too.
who just gets straight transferred.
That was nice. Good job.
He is going wild. A nice round from Sen. Because there were 2 players under immense pressure there. Narrate
What was
got
that dumb play,
ulted
Zekken?
by
It's not a
the
dumb play,
waylay,
bro.
and he
He's
managed to
pulling the
back off into a
crosshair for his
corner and avoid
teammate to
getting
come up and
punished.
just shoot him. Because while
they
Leaf is trying to
also-
kill the guy in the air, his teammate's speaking him on the side.
Bang
It's
on
actually a
sight.
smart play, but
He's been
you just
so
can't. You don't have
good,
the
Bang.
vision, brother.
He's been unreal.
You don't
I
have the
think
vision, and that's why it's okay.
Best smokes player
You're
that we
gonna
have in
learn, man.
America.
We're gonna all
so
learn
Take so
together.
far the way that he's playing, yeah. And
We're gonna
almost
all learn
tonight to the way that
together,
G2 are as well.
Yeah, and think about the difference between these 2
Alright,
smokes
bro.
players, right?
Alright.
Valen has been talking so much. He's been so open and vulnerable in terms of discussing, after Bangkok, the journey mentally that he's been on, trying to figure out what he could do individually to improve, and then realizing, actually, it's not about him as an individual. It's about him as a leader, as an IGL, to help the rest of his team improve. Now, Bang doesn't have any
Oh,
of
that little
Bang
Chuck E.
doesn't have to
Cheese
worry
trophy.
about leading the team
Come on,
and being
guys.
the caller. He can
Come
just
on.
focus on playing the best individually he possibly can.
His
And
own game.
he's playing incredibly.
Keep it going.
can feel the, I think there's pressure for G2 here. This is, I believe, both timeouts expended at this point.
But again, if you zoom out, this is still a good attack half.
Right, exactly. The point being that so much emphasis placed on the attack side, G2 feel like they don't need help with their defense. If they can get an extra round here or there, it's going to make all the difference for them. Already a better look compared to when they last clashed on this map. Second forwards again. Was doing this earlier in the half. Might be waiting for a bit of util as well for the setup, but John QT is on towards Cat, and Jorgen must be dealt with. Dash back again. Flash forward straight from Cat just in case there is that follow-up and that pressure, but Zekin is not out of the woods just yet. Thrown out towards into the bottom. Do they expect Zekin to be dashed into this angle? Looks like it. Hard clearance by Jonah P.
Good trade, wow.
Good trade though, through the smoke from the rate.
These rounds are too dangerous.
To be able to get that.
Couple of bullets. Does the job effectively enough. Zel's
Jordan.
now his turn to try and step right up to it.
Job.
And again, that spot.
Honestly,
Smoke's going to be fading in the end.
EG made a mistake of giving them so much space. I feel like us fighting them like a little
from
bit.
Sentinels. They're using
I
the
mean,
wall.
this half right now is
but
insane for Pistol. Like, not
The
winning
wall
a
isn't
Pistol.
even there, by the way. But because it has been in so many of the previous rounds, G2 are conditioned to walk down mid and try to get rid of that Vice wall as part of their default. And first they meet Zekin inside the smoke, then Narrate is there spamming to
Derek, Warriors or Rockets? Warriors take it in 7 if you don't think so, you're delusional.
I mean, someone has to.
So now massive ultimates for both teams to close out in round 12.
Again from Zekin. Deep position, same smoke down. Okay, stray shot. Right to the noggin.
They're aware of the danger.
Smash over the top of the no command. Okay, you're going to be taking contact first here with the drone. This time.
So
There's no
unlucky.
escape. Suppressed that there was
I
no
really
dash
don't
out
think that scan
to
would have seen him
safety.
either.
Zekin finally
Yeah,
taken out.
he just sat in
the
the
back of the
corner.
reinforcements
That's tough. I
arriving
don't
up
blame
towards
him.
B, or are they to cancel onto the ult? And it's thrown things for a bit of a loop here. G2 calling for a bit of a cooldown and now speeding up over towards A, but the Armageddon. Safety net granted here for Sentinels.
But these B players can't really rotate over towards A.
No.
Garden stretching over towards the side here, but this is all just fake pressure once more to saturate.
Oh, wow.
Speed. And he's out of there. Bit of a squeeze being placed now up towards Tree, and just a shorty into your hands, but
What a
you got your weapon
flash.
back in the flash.
God, they're all
It's
heaven,
impeccable. In and out, round to the side.
No.
With the movement, but bang!
You got 3, bro.
Cannot be
Oh,
denied.
dude, this guy's saving. He's
Time.
actually saving you
Yeah, he's
guys.
got pushed heaven though.
Son,
He
it's
got,
already that 2v2 in this game, but timing's right from behind is taken. Bullet to the back
Is
there,
Alsa's verse
execution
two?
star from
Yes,
Leaf,
Vice,
and it
should he
brings
use
just
it or
down
go
to
for a
Zelsis
kill?
to see
Yeah,
what he can
yes,
do in this spot. Still Garden, even better.
They
Leaf gonna
both
be
on
backing away
Tree.
now, doubled up.
He's gonna be scared though.
Disciplined to play.
The guns will come
for
back for
these
sure.
G2 players.
It's too hard to
Around
win.
all the way as
He's
well.
going heaven now.
He's just baiting.
Anticipating, yeah, it is just bait.
Oh
Trying
my
to pull this
God.
one out all the way.
Heaven!
Now they know he's not on it. Very difficult task indeed for Celsius. So 7
I didn't cross his mind not once.
where we stand here on a set
I mean, I know I
G2.
can see everything, but like, fuck, someone say
We've already
something.
said, listen, they are
It's
2
hard,
rounds
it's
down,
hard.
but the attack side is where they were really struggling.
And I think overall, they've got to be really happy with this. A much slower approach
Yeah,
to
I know
Ascent.
7-5 looks bad, but
After
hear
having
me
lost
out, brother.
in dominating fashion
Hear
to
me
Sentinels just recently, they've made
It
the
ain't
right
over till
adjustments
it's
on their
over.
attack half.
If they can do it, so can we.
And they're at the precipice, to be honest. If they play their defense well, the trophy could be theirs.
We're going to send it down to the stage. Riv is standing by with Cloud9's Imi and 100 Thieves EU.
Yes, I am down here for a little bit of halftime fun with these two to figure out what they're feeling about the game. How are things looking? How you feeling? Are you happy with the results so far? Obviously, we know the results. You're not feeling too good. You just said it to me, but how about this game?
Yeah, I mean, I would have rather won, but the game's looking good so far. Hoping for a close game between the two, but I don't want to root for either team for the sake of Bang's family and for the sake of Trent's family.
Okay.
I've been pretty unlucky recently, so I'm gonna keep out of it.
All right, who's impressing you so far, though? If you could be like, all right, yeah, they're frying.
Zekin's playing kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie.
All right, Zach is playing kind of crazy. We'll see if he can keep it going. Now, Emmy, I gotta ask you. Week 5 was a game against G2, the Icebox match. We're going to Icebox here if Sentinels win. What did you kind of identify about them, and what maybe will we see Sentinels have to do to take that match?
I mean, I think I said it. We were scared of them, but I think here, G2 just need to ante them well. If G2 ante their comp well, I think they'll take it.
All right, and what did you mean before by saying G2 wins the map before they basically get into servers? How do you combat that, or how do you just go against that power?
Teams just usually go in very scared. I don't think Sen have done that today. I think Sen have handled it really well. But most of the teams just go in, they're scared against G2, they give them the respect, they don't fight them. And that's why I'm gonna play it.
All right, awesome. Gentlemen, thank you for the info. I appreciate it muchly. We're going to throw it back to the casters and get this one underway. Take it away.
Sen have definitely not been fearful of G2 on here today, and it weren't the first time they played against them as well earlier on in the tournament.
No, they've been very happy today to re-clear, to fight, to try to bring
we need pistol, bro.
those engagements to G2, but the
this time for real
adjustments strategically that G2 have made here and how well they've played a slower style of Waylay might have set them up with an opportunity to win.
This time for real, man. I'm not even playing
Back-to-back
no more.
chances at this America's Trophy. The victors at this year's kickoff. And after a tough, grueling road through the lower bracket, this would be their 4th win in a row if they're able to convert on the defense side of Ascent.
They're the sweetest of rewards for this G2 squad, but job's not finished yet. Still 2 rounds down. The Sentinels not willing to give up so easily.
And I think Sen, despite being up by 2, they'd
probably
love
stand
a
up for this
here.
pistol.
It would
It's
mean
very
everything
important.
to
Do or die.
I'm fucking on my feet, brother.
On the right foot forwards here, knife against the back.
Might need to get you to stand up too,
like,
like,
early.
use the support.
Dash used.
We'll stand up for them.
Dash used in the first 20 seconds to disengage. So that makes it really tough to send
He
4
is
players
seeing
through
the-
A9.
Might have spotted on the minimap, I'm not too sure. At least the suppression came through, so...
Yeah, they know exactly where he is.
Wait, did we see the guy push B? Oh, he's
Here
so
it is,
bad,
re-clear,
man.
core for flash over towards the top of that. Salvos the rate.
That was an
Does
insane
fantastically
kill,
to even
dude.
get one in that spot.
But again,
Wait,
take a look at Leaf,
Leaf.
all the way behind here in spawn.
Oh my.
This is a mad timing. He's got the read so well.
They're watching for top mid pressure, thinking that somebody could have
Saw
walked
him.
all the way up today.
He saw him, 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 he saw him.
Yes, Bang saw him.
Yeah, it's pinged. Bang. Notifying
Nice!
the rest of his team. It's doubled up and held here now. Get a bit of a move on once more. Marathon sprint across the map.
Well, you just know that B is undefended. If Leaf is pushed all the way out through B, then
I like
it's
this
empty.
call. They're gonna fake the
These
react B and go,
rotators
eh?
for the defense are going to be trying to race you, and it's a fake.
It's a good call, it's a good
Sen
call.
ascending the footsteps
They'll break
in this
the wall.
direction while the spike goes back into A.
Oh, the wall's
It's
down,
all
never
on
mind.
Valen.
All on Valen indeed, and he's just caught that timing against it. Second was hard, clearing onto the one side of things. It's caught out now. Reinforcements are going to be arriving. Desperate
That
on
tail's
for
already
G2,
here,
but
bro.
time is of the
12
essence
seconds,
again.
man.
12
Bomb is down
seconds.
main.
It's counting down into
It's
the
even
round.
now,
There's a
it's
face.
over.
Trent
It's over.
and Valen.
This wasn't a
Putting
bad
stop
call
to
at
all
all.
of this here with only seconds remaining. There's no more chances now.
GG.
It's run dry
Or-
and shy.
Nice try.
And all they have to do
GG.
is live. Kills a
Don't stop saying
consolation at this
GG.
point.
Everyone
It's a
stop saying
pistol round
GG,
win
bro.
for G2.
Stop saying GG, bro. It's not over till 13. You guys are weird.
Actually.
And that should allow G2 to close this gap. Sen, they're not the type of
I
team that
think
we
it was
expect
a-
to go for the
Is
force.
it an overcook on the call? Not
They
really,
won some
right? I think
important
it was a
ecos
good
early
call.
on.
No,
There's
that's
that little
that was
jiggle
literally
that
the
just
best
gave
call.
the game away
So
on
wait,
the
what
slur.
even
The
happened?
only
Just the
thing-
guy main died
But in
too
the end,
early?
it didn't
Only,
matter.
no. You know the
And it
better,
was
the best
Valen's
call would have been
decision
What?
not to
leave
overcommit.
one guy A main
After
and
Leaf died,
let 2
he
guys run
stayed
up
on
mid
A
B,
just in case John QD
and then
was
one guy
cooking
go
up some
cat.
kind of elaborate
And
Was
fake.
it
cat
two
guy
guys
takes the
mains?
timing. Yeah. Because
Once
that guy
more,
could be
Valen.
anywhere in the
Oh,
bomb
so
site.
that way the
Exactly.
cat guy can
Lightest
also
of
re-escort his
Yes,
teammates back
yes,
up from
yes,
mid.
To winning
yes,
a
yes,
massively
yes.
It's
crucial
just the
round.
small details, man.
That's such a small thing, yeah.
Creeping all the way up here from Sen. Nothing to really work with in this spot. Jorgamo's giving up control, at least towards mid. Cloudburst dash forward. Market control in the name of the game here for Sentinel.
Terrible call, never split with numbers
They
on
can pull
pistol.
some G2 players out, potentially get a pick off of it. Jorgamo.
Nah.
Seen it, that's
It was
a no
fine,
scope.
but
If I've ever seen one.
maybe.
Not too fast to register for my eyes, at least, but Jonah P seals up potential weaknesses in their setup, and the walls really just delayed all of this here. Bang, still accurate as ever. Classic in hand, but peppering them now with a bit of lead. The backside player of Leaf as well is going to be able to anchor this one nicely. Still mistimed. It was Utah by Jonah P to flash to try and help him out entirely. Spotting this one out, but running away with it. And yeah, here it is. Finally, flooding all the way back
Nice try,
in
they still
for it. So
got it.
G2 now even it up 7-7.
Sen have got a massive uphill battle here. G2 won both pistols on Ascent and got 5 rounds total on their attack half. For how defense-sided this map is, it's going to be brutal. Sentinels need everything. They need the hero moments of earlier from Zekken, from Bang. Zels's 4Ks from Pearl, the reads from John. Narrate to step up, they need everybody online. and they absolutely must win this round. Of all of the rounds that you get on the attack side, this anti-bonus
Zekken needs
is
to tell his fucking
your best
friends to
shot
start
at
shooting back
generating
again.
some level of momentum. Zekken
Whatever he was
down
saying on
mid
Pearl.
very early.
And he's going to be met. There's plenty of bodies ready to receive here on G2 side of things. Going for that refight as well. The Paranoid sweeps past, but it was a window. Slightest of gaps the Zekken plays in, and he was not blinded up.
Hello? 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 Hello?
That's a bit of a gun diff as well, because Jorgamo does actually hit him for 140.
Oh, fuck. I have to speed up chat. I'm sorry. Oh, we're good.
So he's not really going to be useful at breaking through these choke points, and going through the Bucky here can be utterly brutal.
We've seen some filthy things with this.
Narrate doesn't have drone.
Airplane Bucky on a Sen. We've all seen the
Honestly,
damage
I'll take a
done.
1 for 1. I'm not going to
That
lie.
might just put a stop to what Sen were planning. They've called for a bit of a
Maybe
pause.
a clean round here, though.
Zekken's deep down mid.
This skill is big.
Valen's fighting back. Smoke v smoke.
Look at our setup, though. It's like
That's a
we're
discipline
going
as
B
well
now.
as timings and fights to be
Here's
taken
the
on
rotate.
either
We're
side
going
here.
B. Oh my God, he saw him, bro.
Once more.
Well,
Teddy's
okay,
beat
never
us
mind.
up.
Whatever.
And Bang just slips
They
his
know
way all
he's
the way
spawned.
in.
We go
Turn
B
of the head.
together.
Valen
Keep 3 guns up. I'm happy.
expecting it in a different direction.
Trying to
here. The
retake
Sentinels
versus
are making
demons.
moves now over towards B.
And it looks like they've managed to thread the needle and find that gap. Trent with it all to do. He has won some bonkers 1v3s.
Hey, Rocket Man,
this
we're
stage.
planning B, dude.
But here he has no information about where the Sentinels players are. And Bang alone should checkmate him in this spot towards mid. And then you'd have to deal with Zelsis in B main and John on the site.
Brother's shopping.
Doesn't really seem doable.
He's
Especially not with a Bucky. I
shopping.
don't think that's the gun that you really want.
Looking for that one.
We heard that, right? We heard that.
That's
We
gonna
heard
be
that.
heard.
Come on, bang.
Sound cue from the
Bang
one
him out.
dropping
Bang
back
him
and
out,
immediately
bro.
snaps round,
Honestly,
so.
if they don't
And
lose
it's
any
actually
guns
important
here,
that you do not feed
it's
the
very
kill
doable.
And we have a
into
couple
QT,
ults coming
because
up
he's 2
Yep,
away
yep.
from null command, and that,
Holy
that
fuck,
could
I'm
be
seeing it
Sentinel's
now.
ticket to winning this map.
In the footsteps.
What?
Okay.
How's that work?
By Trent apparently.
And it doesn't look like John's going to have an opportunity to farm up this ultimate.
Just fucking sad Zelsa's down and save
Do
his
they play
gun.
a slow round? Go for ult orbs. Feed him the plant. The problem is, if you feed him the plant and he gets ult, you've already got on site, so you've done the hard part already.
This is a big one. Shut up, bro!
Zelsis is not, Leaf is not using the wall for mid information. They're playing crossfires in mid instead.
It forces a couple of eyes at the G2 players at least to be watching that direction. The drone dodged and timing. Leaf is going to be making sure to shore that one up. Back through market.
Oh my God.
Reclaims for the salvage as well. It's a dangerous
It's fine, it's fine.
position to be in. Narrate. He's looking to at least make it a bit harder. Just the one before
Wait,
the
am
damage
I
is
ahead?
sent flying forwards and
Oh
through.
no, you're
Leaf.
ahead. Fuck!
Snappy.
Sorry, just 2x real quick.
Taps away, rips the head clean off, and even giving up that space. They heard the spike drop down, but they went to relocate anyway.
Leaf is so
God
aggressive, so
damn
confident.
it.
He's the vice player. If he goes down in that spot, it's massive for Sen, but he believes in his own aim and his own read on the game so much. A has been weak for G2. It's only had these 2 players defending it the entire time, and the net is starting to tighten. But Valen, Jonah, they still have a lot of util to hold this off, and
G2.
Bang goes down.
Yeah, he does indeed. G2 are getting so damn active as
Well,
well.
they know
though,
Omen's
that
not
deep
A.
push out
They know
through
A is
B
clear.
main. Missed the timing for the backstab onto the cap players, but G2 are happy to play a bit further back.
4v2
2v4.
post.
Play the numbers advantage.
It's possible.
Have faith in the
Very
retake at this
doable.
There's a
point.
flank.
I'm a little bit surprised they even want the door closed, because they've got to find a pick here before the retake comes through.
Oh my
Door's going to be
God.
broken at the moment's notice. Down to red. Alarm bells ringing. Zekken in through main, but he's going to be pushed out into the open. His drone, he's got to expect it. With the
What a
position,
cringe
stun is a
fucking
good
agent.
connection. Trent, though,
Look at
still
this
doesn't
fucking
open himself
rockets,
up. He wants
dude.
to play this one with the salvos, and he lets his team do the damage. Still Zekken. One to the grave. With
What
him.
can you do? He has rockets all
This guy's all
round
over the place.
long.
So damn active across the map, and still hitting shots like that.
Leaf was the key player in G2's victory over MIBR. He dominated, and he looks like he's doing it again here on Ascent. The scoreline's close, but our expectations are weighted by what teams have done before on this map. How difficult it is to get the job done on the attack.
They're going to call a timeout.
Oh, he's so right too.
I mean, he's wrong with that read, but he's been right with everything else. Sen not going for the tag timeout just yet, but they're knocked down onto an eco. It would be a really normal time for Kaplan to hit the panic button. Are they unaware? I mean, yeah, slightly. They've been allowing some really heavy walk.
We need a hero round, right? Yeah.
G2 pushing out 3 through the map, pretty similar to when we started on Haven. If you think back all the way to map 1,
sorry.
G2 was pushing out constantly through A lobby, through mid,
I'm sorry.
through garage.
We're good now.
Okay,
And
fast B control, big mid B a little bit. But the wall is still up.
Just clearing up some of the
Wall
confusion
is
on the
still
map.
up. No joke, we need Zekin to just ace right here.
Yeah, you actually do.
We actually need to just straight up ace.
There's still 2A. There's still.
They don't really have much to work with. They got the knives earlier.
His dagger's coming back up soon. It's gonna take out Zekin's knives. We lost.
Himself up to this blade storm now, and it could get explosive up towards the A side. Might put a lot of pressure onto Valorant.
Do they wave, like fake it a little bit?
Go now. Please just go, bro. Just go, please.
Have some support as well, though, from the 2 tree players. Here it comes. Flying forwards here with a paranoia. Just about to avoid it here, but seconds in, and the knives are taken away. Great flood attempt here from G2. Coming to the corner here, and a flash was anticipated. Valen tucked to the corner. One step ahead is G2, expecting the plays that Sen were trying to make, and Zelsis.
Yeah, it's funny, Sogo, huh?
Just pussy boy. Away,
this was the hero round anyway.
Yeah.
Love that 0 point from Jonah P.
My blind is dead.
Usually, the KOs are going to be throwing that kind of early on in the round.
Nice.
20 seconds.
Visol
KO. A main. No chance. Jonah picks up the final one, but it's
I think you. I don't.
0 point. The knife that just takes away Zekin's blade storm, and with it, any opportunity for a clutch for Sentinels, if we're being honest. Zekin had to be the playmaker, and he just got put in an impossible spot.
Oh my god.
He's got a classic in his hand by the time the exec happens.
I'm gonna lie as well at this point. This is a very difficult ask for Sentinels. They're only
down
by 1
round,
round, but the ultimates are being built up here on the G2 side. One away for some critical ones as well. Trent and Leaf to be getting theirs online. Jonah P has that null command waiting.
And an anti-KO setup here for G2. So if you do decide to run some kind of fast B pops, Leaf's going to keep all of his util online.
I gave up? Over my fucking dead body, I gave up, bro.
So
no, I still believe that
really good information unless
it's only 8-9. It feels worse, but the problem is it's a hard side. It's not all that bad, but we need to start. We have to start here.
They are passive enough that there's nothing coming our way. Walls
we need to break this setup
somehow. G2 here, but it's these G2 players right here. Jorgamo under the threat here. Heat's going to be turned up out of the pan and into the fire. It's Sentinels. 2 quick ones earned as well up through heaven. You got to try and deny this person. Leaf is sat upon. They do just that.
Close.
Nice early use of the ultimate. Completely caught those players on tree.
It's like they hear me.
And bang, he holds heaven.
All watched. Dominated. 9-9. Sentinels. That could have been a very dangerous round indeed. And with it, earning themselves up to a couple of big ultimates themselves.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, give us a map 5, bro. I'm begging you.
Swap over to his shorty because I think in his head he's probably anticipating the Visol coming through as well. And he's thinking, all right, I probably need to be swapping.
Jumped on Jonah, I kissed him on the lips.
Excuse?
Is it against the rules?
To stand up and kiss a player on the opposite side of the stage? Yeah, probably.
The NBA fans are wondering.
Yeah, they were. They were at some point.
But now that big null command removed from the attack side should make things slightly easier here for the defenders.
Saturate slows it down though. They know where the drone's coming from.
What the fuck? Wait, this is insane, bro.
Zekin, he's still alive.
Q combo.
Bang. Forwards. Oh, he's blind as anything. Doesn't matter though.
He's been magnificent today, hasn't he, Bang? Just catching the perfect timings with the perfect off angle. And G2 react with Jorg and Leaf walking forwards, possibly straight into the arms of Zekin.
Yeah. Zekin has been able to backstab multiple times here, but Leaf is watching for it.
Oh, the Teho ult.
Hold on, Armageddon's going to force these players forwards as well. That is a pick your poison situation. You are stunned.
So fucking cringe.
My goodness, what a way to deal with it.
Oh, that's immaculate from Trent.
It's a 2v3, turned on his head immediately. Celsius, you have the ult to work with again, but look at this, the positioning of Leaf. He's already here. I think you can hear it. Rumble of somebody's footsteps, convergent pass, just to slow them all the way down.
Oh, what a big round.
There is that uncertainty. Sentinel's trying to slow this one down and hope that
He thinks a retake because it's flash hit.
I
hate Trev, bro. I hate
What a turnaround in this round.
Dude, they got fucked by that ult, man.
They literally cannot win 2 rounds in a row. It's cooked.
And Narrate can hear a waylay fast behind.
Yeah, put in a squeeze now as a vice grip here. There's Thorns.
Is there any universe?
Pathing. It's going to get predictable.
Yeah.
Gonna get pushed.
Look at the plan here. Just taps, hoping that it just pull one of these players out wide.
Fucking Leaf is still jiggling. Just
smart.
push him, bro.
Too smart for these games as well. Doesn't really open himself up for it. Spamming, spraying away, but time is already going to be played. As long as Trent stays alive, it's going to be another one added to the tally.
They're so good at
we kept our gun.
what they need to do in these
Kept
clutch
our gun my ass,
situations.
bro. It's 9-10. We might have lost.
Never a risk there of putting his body on the line so that Narrate could win the 1v3. Take a look at the replay here, though. It's a perfect 5v3 to stop a play like this. A 5v3. And then Lee with his classic
that
push out.
That ult to the stun is
with an
immaculate play.
I don't know how they get the perfect read that they're all in A main at that exact timing.
Because I can sit on me for
disconnecting. The ult and
disconnecting.
the stun. That's why he's a Teo master.
It's a brutal one for Sentinels here. Immediate reaction with the timeout. You can see it. Well, Sentinels players' faces, they are feeling it potentially. This is a difficult spot to be in, even though they're one round down.
And they've actually been doing a decent job. We keep talking about the fact that it's going to be uphill. But Sen, they're kind of going
Wave a
one
Sen
for one
flags.
in
Wave a
these
Sen
rounds.
flags. We need energy. We need energy
Ever
in the
since
chat.
G2 won the pistol,
Wave a flag.
it's
Wave a
been
flag. Wave a flag. Wave a
3-2.
flag. Wave a flag. Wave a
It
flag.
hasn't
Wave a
been
flag.
dominant for the defenders. They've been holding their own. But if they lose this next round, Sen are going to be on an eco.
Ooh.
A couple of players swapping over, we can see, to light armor to try to soften the blow if they do lose this round.
Oh my God, he's doing a nervous twirl.
Tarek, you good or?
Try to keep the economy
I'm
going for
speaking
as
out,
long as they
dude.
possibly can.
It's
It's a game of endurance playing the attack side of Ascent. You're just trying to create as many opportunities as you can and see if some of
What's
them
wrong with
work.
that buffer, dude? YouTube sucks
Just
dick.
Ascent as well, it's best to find in general. These have been slow rounds being played. Maps that have been going deep. In part, both of these teams taking chunks out of each other, but G2 holding the advantage.
It's not my
in the
internet.
series.
Focus.
And in the map for now, Sentinels looking to counteract it.
Stand up. All right, you're right.
Always slow at the beginning between these two teams as well. They're just hoping that they can wait out a bit of the util. Knives thrown at the beginning.
Knife clears over towards Catwalk. Thrown into A main. And they push Jorgamo out of middle. So Sentinels using their utility to try to create safe avenues for them to split into sites. G2 look for a little bit of info. Don't see too much. I would expect ults to be expended massively in this round because it's super important for both teams. If G2 win it, they're going to be feeling elated.
Yeah.
Like the trophy's already theirs.
What is this going to be?
Sprint up through mid by second, just hoping that the wall was there to potentially bait out. But
fake A split, but I think it's actually A split.
Immediately set their sights
Maybe
over
it's
towards
fake.
A.
And A is weak.
And the hand with the flash.
Just goes,
G2 are
or
playing
Zach can go
passively enough,
spawn, they go
though,
back
this
to
is
B.
a chance for them.
No.
I mean, they already have
Jump
all
spot,
of
Jonah P.
What a hold.
Yeah, they're willing to give him that
Baited the
control.
retake.
On that replay is called for with the paranoia.
They
Put
know,
up
they
through
know.
mid
Fuck.
now. Door in your face. The rate, you have the salvage
they're
to
already
instantly
ahead of
break
the
this one. You
round.
can pop out onto these players, but are still guarded. Is
I have no gun.
Going to be lying in wait here from Lee. He's going to be
He's
slowing
in.
down these players out towards the back of the
Oh
side
my
and dashing
God,
over.
man.
Jorgamo denies him at the doorstep. Saturate.
How's it
Potentially
rotating
even
that
better.
fast?
Second
Look at
base
all
put
this
him in
there.
his place. All the way forward now with only 15 seconds left. This is G2 jumping on the chance. Death by 1,000 cuts indeed.
Might
Sentinels
be over, bro.
between a rock and a hard place. There's no
Yeah, it
chance
might
for them
be
to get
over.
this spike down safely, cleanly whatsoever. 11 rounds now for G2.
Only 2 more rounds needed before G2 hoist the trophy. Back-to-back winners in Americas
I'm
after
sitting down. Why
making
the fuck
4
did I stand up, bro?
consecutive finals. We've never had even a repeat winner in Americas. And Sen have got to scrap together a bye. They have to. It's pointless trying to let G2 get to 12 and hoping you can win
Not
every
over
attack
yet,
round
right?
Ascent in a row.
Huh?
It's not
Even
over
the
yet.
bye is going to be bad.
No, it's not over yet, obviously.
A stinger,
I'm saying, who do you think
a
wins
Guardian,
Toronto?
a Bulldog,
Who I
and
think
a
looks
dream
stronger?
for Sen.
Who do you think wins
Somebody
Toronto?
has to make the
Oh,
play
wins Toronto.
to right the ship.
Honestly, I have no idea how good the other regions are.
Otherwise, they, with double
Not the
map
same.
ban, are
Exact
going to
same
fall
for me.
short.
And somehow
We saw plenty
America's
of hero replace on these Sentinels players,
gets,
and
you know,
again,
as well. So
as you said, Josh, this
America's
is
sending all their
off
best
once
teams.
more.
oh
Oh,
my
he's got
God.
his sting, he's out
Wait.
of there, but he does.
He
Oh
accidentally
no,
got
no
out.
dash available.
He
No
accidentally
dash
got a kill
available. He's
time,
to
man.
deny
Can't
it.
even
So leads with
believe
the
You're telling me
kills.
he accidentally got a kill.
Second, forced into a difficult spot. Wants
You're telling me
to
Trent
fight
still
his
has
way back
fucking
out of
rockets
it, but
backside.
Jorgamo! Right from behind.
No smoke over towards market. I think Zeka
Bro, just
assumed
give
that
us
that
a
was being
saving
covered.
grace once, man.
Then
How
again,
does everything go their way?
it was all chaos. Bang up towards Cart.
No, fuck this ability.
Just with the movement as well, the refract in the back pocket, Chocomo. Tail end of the duration of that one still, he's alive. That means a player advantage for G2 to play around.
Narrator's been holding his ult for
Please
such a long time.
contact play, I'm begging you. Contact play, contact play, contact play.
They've got to turn a player disadvantage.
Oh, that's good enough.
They have this round.
Otherwise it's going to mean G2 up to 12 here.
Out of your fucking
up to
mind,
series
man.
point in our grand finals. Push forwards, pop flash in.
Nah, you need
and
help.
This is it, Narrate.
How fucking dare you
Just
do
being
stuff like
swarmed and overwhelmed.
Are you fucking kidding me, bro? They got demolished.
Yeah, my
So
bad,
you didn't
bro.
even believe it yourself. Nah.
Okay, I said that because they walked all the way
chances,
out. I didn't expect John to repeat
points.
market.
I mean, I thought they would win too, but I didn't
They
say
already
it.
won in kickoff. It was a 5-map blender between
You
these
gotta keep
two
that
teams.
shit to yourself.
And Sentinels
Oh, give us a map
BCT
5,
recently in the upper bracket
bro.
semi-finals.
I hate G2.
No, it's still possible.
But now G2 can feel it. They want to establish a year of dominance here. Just a week ago, they were thinking whether or not they'd even qualify for Toronto. And now they've got 3 opportunities to lift the Americas trophy again and come in.
Is it over?
Skipping the Swiss stage in a phenomenal spot for Toronto.
Carving themselves into the history books of Americas, at least domestically. To be one of the first teams to get the back-to-back. It's up to Zekin to try and put a stop to that.
Looks
Dreams
good.
and hopes of G2 themselves,
How
but already
fucking dare
dashing
you.
forwards. This guy has to be the tip of the spear, but he's just being isolated
looks
still.
good.
How dare
It
you,
looks
bro?
good.
How dare you, bro? It
Getting in
always
for the
looks
back.
good.
Finds a bit of time and a bit of space as well, but they have to deal
The
with
fuck
Trent.
is
and it's
Trent
a
doing in the
stun
back of the
against wall.
site?
He's penned himself in.
Oh, he's gonna get 3.
Skipping and hopping all the way through as well. Second.
Oh,
Isolates
5v3,
it.
no
Finds
way
that
right
fight
there.
in
Don't fucking say
DG2.
shit.
Just relentless. Making a move on now, still with that player disadvantage. Jorgamodo cleans it up onto the side. It's all
Nah.
down to him into
Nope,
this
it's
spot.
possible. It's
Sentinels
always possible.
earn themselves that
I'm
breathing
telling you,
room.
bro. You gotta just say it. Don't worry about
Loki,
this jinx shit. Just say
G2
it.
should take a pause right here.
Manifest
When
it.
you're watching through
No,
Zekin's eyes, it
I'm
looks
manifesting,
chaotic.
bro.
He's been tangled up by Leaf's setups in a
I'm
couple of these
manifesting the
rounds now.
anti-jinx on
And yet,
finesse.
the value provided from that Tejo ultimate completely isolated
Oh my
Trent. And he
God.
did whiff on the stun. He's almost stunned
We
himself.
lost, we lost, we
A
lost, we
little bit
lost,
of
we
nerves in
lost.
the final moment. And brick by brick, track by track, the Zen train at the moment keeps chugging. But
We
two
lost,
more
we lost,
opportunities
we
for
lost,
G2
We lost, we lost, we lost, we lost.
on a massively favored half.
Holy f-
And
oh my
they're
God,
taking
I
attack
paused.
timeout.
My goodness.
I mean, if Kaplan doesn't take it now, he might not have a chance to even talk to the team. Everything has to be perfect. Or at least the outcome has to be perfect. Actually, the way the Sentinels got that round was a little scrappy, but it got the job done, and that is what
YouTube is
matters.
fucked, bro.
They've run out of ultimates, though. Narrate was holding that Tejo ult in his back pocket for so long. And Kaplan, he's actually not so much giving the info here as just giving his team time and space, it seems to.
It's my browser?
Fill something out.
Bro,
It's
why are you
John that you
tweaking
can
so
see
much? Bro, we're about to
rolling out
fucking
a
lose
couple
to
of
fucking
ideas.
G2. What do you mean, why am I... Why
Some
are you not
adjustments.
tweaking?
Just those 2 rounds that stand for Sentinels. Every single round that they've been able to earn on this attack side, it's been torturous, man. It's been absolutely torturous. If you take a look at the timeline.
Damn it, bro. We're gonna have to
Only
watch
3
the
so
celebration
far
of G2.
on this attack side round, and now they
I
have
might,
to do
I might skip the trophy
2
lift, not gonna lie.
back-to-back.
I don't know if I could, I don't know if I
This
could
one
bear
all the
it.
way to OT to stand a chance as well, to not go out, just to even get a chance of competing in that 5th and final map.
So much of Sentinel's conditioning recently in the last few
Say
rounds
it, bro.
has been
Say we
around
lost.
B
Say Sentinels
and B
lost.
splitting.
Say it.
I think if you guys win this round, you
Adjusting the
guys
setup
go to
slightly,
lost,
gets
bro.
caught by the suppress. But Sen are messing with their heads. Instead of going for the B split, they're making it feel like one. Getting
lost.
ready to pounce on
Waylay
A.
has the B
But
line,
G2
which
are
we
already
don't
getting
like.
good information. They posted up Jorgamo with Trent.
There you
to
go.
clear
Now you
out
get it.
this angle. The drone goes deep, and Leaf can start leaning A.
Joker
It's a lot of
peek here if
info.
he wanted to, at least with the refract.
It was really bad for us.
Choosing to.
Yeah, it's very bad for you guys.
There you go.
Center quite open as well
We're
for that
fucked.
push. The potential of it at least in through mid, just holding for now.
And G2 look like they're playing A for retake. I mean, they want to use, by the look of it,
They closed the door.
Trent and Jorgamo's ultimate to close this out.
Does this thing go up? Delsus,
What's
put up the fucking wall, you dog!
Breakdown. Spam coming his way on top of it. Eventually, removes it. One obstacle dealt with, but Sen
What,
have
am
got
I
plenty
wrong?
more waiting for them on the
No,
other
no,
side
no,
of the A
absolutely
side here. A lot of util expended.
But again, I think it's going to be a retake. We're looking towards Trent and Jorgamo and how much value they get out of the ults.
Oh, they have
Sen
so many
are
ults, bro.
controlling catwalk and tree.
Yeah.
They're not closing the door and locking themselves in
We're
on
fucked.
site.
We're so fucked.
Because they know they have to
Oh,
fight
pushing
We are
guard in
so
here,
fucked.
to
gorgeous.
use find a timing, a window of opportunity here against G2.
We are
here it is.
so fucked.
First ult going to be
We
sent
are
out.
so
John QT
fucked.
already catching.
We are
The
so
first
fucked.
pass second.
We are
He's
so fucked.
isolated
We
on
are
a
so
bloody
fucked.
island.
We are
Slow
so
to a core,
fucked.
but he still gets the
Fuck,
one.
we lost.
Sentinels, can they
Fuck,
do
we
it?
lost.
Pull it back from the brink, but
Rockets,
again, they're
anything?
isolated, cut out of the sight.
They're so
Divided
fucked.
away from it, it's spammed and stuck away.
We lost, actually. This is sad.
Sen dropping like flies. Number G2 rise into the hands of Trent, and he delivers them that back to back.
Why are we always grouped?
An outrageous way for the map to finish. Much improved over the last time that they played Ascent. And this team, like I said only a week ago, were grueling through the lower bracket. Against 100 Thieves in OT on the final map, against an EG team that looked like they had the momentum.
It was a good game. I can't believe these guys are
players
so
didn't
fucking
even
in this
know whether
bracket,
they'd
dude. They should have been eliminated 3 games ago.
Didn't know whether they'd even... Never mind, first place. They make history
Two
today.
splits in a row they won.
And Ender had talked about it
From Ascension.
again a week ago. There are only
so
a few games.
You know they skip
that
groups,
set your
right?
legacy
Yeah, they
in
skipped first
Valorant.
stage. It's fucked.
And they managed
What
to
do you think is better,
avoid
skipping
elimination in
Swiss
the lower
stage? Like,
bracket
do you think that's an
and
advantage or no?
cement that legacy
I think so,
again
honestly,
today.
even though you're fucking
Yeah, it
rusty,
is, right?
fuck it, bro.
G2
It's
making
like,
history,
just
and
fucking
here it
practice or some
is.
shit.
You get to like watch the whole group stage.
2025 America's champions.
I mean, it's a fucking Mickey Mouse ass trophy. Like, have that shit, bro.
And Sen played well.
Doing what
All things
everybody
considered, Sen played
expected
well.
of them.
Wait, he's
but
pointing and
started
laughing.
to
What the fuck
doubt.
was that?
This team has
Oh,
been
no, he's not pointing
dominant
and laughing at you guys.
throughout the whole
hope
of this
not.
year domestically
Check
in
your fucking
Americas
mentions on Twitter,
and
buddy.
just started to slip up in recent weeks.
Someone maybe
but
have
they
leaked buzz.
fixed it at the perfect moment.
Well, they didn't win fucking
the
fair and
input
square, I'll
from
tell you
Josh,
that.
the reflection from Valen,
Alright, I'm head out, bro.
the individual
later.
brilliance
Jesus, man.
coming out from people like Trent, Leaf, and fixing the errors that they'd made on maps like Ascent, for example. Poetic the way that they finished.
Salty ass boy, Tarek? What do you mean salty,
Grueling.
bro? It's cringe.
Is what they'd probably
Not
describe
salty,
their
it's
path
cringe.
to even get
I'm just
here.
kidding. Congrats, you two.
And each
Those
player
are the
getting their
finals.
time in the
They
sun.
had, they fucking had
An awesome moment as well. You've
All
got
things
to imagine
considered,
for
congrats,
Jonah
bro.
P,
Fucking
who's
sucks
going to
that we
be
didn't win, but
probably the sole
the team is
Canadian
just too fucking good for
heading
real.
towards Masters Toronto.
I think
with
Haven
a
was our
trophy in the
map,
back
bro.
pocket
Haven was
as
where we
well.
needed it. I think
Waiting
I would say Haven,
for-
bro.
to see which
I think
teams are
Haven
gonna
is
escape
where
from
we
the
might have
Swiss
lost the
stage
series.
to march into the blender that is G2, because they get that opportunity to look at the rest of the squads,
I think
figure
we
out
needed
the
that first
meta
map.
potentially
Absolutely.
too. Trent will have time to revamp if he wants to move away from the Teo.
NCs.
Well, with all that being said, we're going to send it down to Riv on the stage with our America's
Oh.
Stage 1 champions. Take it away for the Verizon post-match interview.
Damn, damn, damn.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for your back-to-back kickoff and Stage 1 champions, G2! Amazing, amazing. Jonah, it feels right to start with you. I'm glad you're on this side. You get to go home. What are you excited to show everybody when you get back to Canada and get into the game?
Just the amazing culture there. Everyone's super friendly and nice. And, you know, playoff hockey in Toronto right now. So hopefully Toronto makes it to the second round. And I'm gonna
Big beliefs in playoffs.
Okay, that's actually a little question for you. What should they be looking for? What do they look to do when they're out there? What should we be having fun with?
Honestly, you can do anything. Everyone's super polite. You know, you just gotta be polite yourself, and everyone will respect you. And you know, it's just a nice vibe there.
All right, be polite, eh? All right, man. Great. GG's, great game, and good luck in Toronto. Valen, we got to touch on the fact that
I think his family's in the crowd.
we got to touch on the fact that you were pretty hard on yourself at the end, saying I wasn't being the leader I wanted to be. What was that for you?
I think I was focusing too much on myself, and I should be focusing on the little details for the team. I want to make sure all guys around me succeed, and me winning these last couple games and getting into Masters Toronto was credit to Josh for kind of opening my eyes on that. He said, Jake, you're being too self-centered. You're being too self-focused right now. You got to reopen your mind to the team. You want to win games. You want to be the best IGL in the world. You got to lead the 4 people around you to do so. And I kind of remembered that, dialed it back a little bit, and I'm back. So let's
Damn.
let's go.
So that's what I'm talking about. Were you the IGL you wanted to be today?
Yeah, I was the IGL I wanted to be today. Back-to-back champions. Couldn't have done it without my team. I love these guys. Let's go to Toronto and win that shit too.
Awesome. Congratulations,
No,
my
that's
man.
fire, that's fire,
Congratulations.
that's fire,
The hype is screaming up here on stage. Leaf, we've talked about it before, and coaches past and present have talked about, you know, the flexibility in your play, how much you study the game. What allows you with this squad to bring that info to the team? We're hearing you talk a lot and hype people up. What is it about all that study that you bring?
I think everybody is also individually very smart, and they just have we have a lot of belief in everybody. You know, if somebody says something, we try to do it, and even if it doesn't work out, you know, we go next. And I think that every single team that we play against, you know, we know what to expect for the most part. You know, there's some curveballs that hit here and there, but I think that we are just one of the most prepared teams in the world.
Awesome. Best of luck. We just moved to Toronto. Trent, you have been a major core of this team since the beginning. Did you think that these would be the results, that this would be the stack as you guys started to get on that dynasty train?
Yeah, I mean, just look at the guys around us. So, I mean, it's honestly surreal. Like, having all these guys around me, they're honestly the best in the world, and I just think we're going to keep this going.
All right, man. Thanks so much. Best of luck in Toronto to you. Jog, when you came on this team, you said, I want to bring a trophy to the squad. Now you have 2. Why did it mean so much to you, and what does it mean to be able to get another one for the squad?
I mean, these guys came from Ascension except for Nate. So getting that first step of Ascension trophy, that was the first step, right, for them.
Right on.
Me coming in.